Man, last night was absolutely incredible in Washington, D.C. at the UFC fight. I am proud to be an American. Thanks to Donald Trump, Dana White, everybody who put the thing together. It was absolutely incredible to watch. It was fun. It was exciting. The flyover is just very, 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 very amazing. And it's just so sad how many of these libs come out and they're like, oh, it was awful and it's corruption. And just stop. Just have fun for once. Just have fun for once. But we got big news for you today, and we will be talking about the UFC stuff. But Gavin Newsom put out a statement saying that he's being criminally investigated by the DOJ. Now, the DOJ says, nah, that's not true. However, people in and around his administration and his personal life are being investigated, it seems, likely due to tax-related issues. I'm going to be very careful here. But some people are pointing out that it makes no sense how a man on such a small salary has so much money. And there's some other stuff related to, like, being transferred a very valuable house to an LLC and a bunch of other stuff like that. So maybe this man is just a criminal. I wonder if what's really happening, they always just played this game. These politicians, whether it be Republican or Democrat, they always played the dirty game, but then they went to war with Trump and lost. So now Trump has basically said the game's over and I'm coming for you, whatever it may be. Or this house-related thing just, maybe it's Bill Pulte again. You know, we'll see. Now, this is a big story because Gavin Newsom is the presumptive nominee for 2020. I say presumptive because that's what people are talking about in the media, despite the fact that Kamala Harris actually is leading him by double digits. But Lord have mercy if somehow she got elected. And then let's talk back about the UFC thing because, my friends, we actually were contemplating what the big story was going to be. We opted for the news because the news is what we do. But I believe that there was, let me say this, God sent a sign at the UFC event. It is absolutely incredible. It defies expectation. An act that I would describe as something that's possible, but that defies expectation. Now, many people online are referring to a miracle at the UFC event. And what was this miracle? A forecast had come down a week prior. There was going to be a massive thunderstorm in D.C., and the event would have to be canceled. It would be ruined. Now, my response was, how badass would it be if they just put a curtain down like semi-mesh see-through and these UFC fighters are fighting in a thunderstorm? Let's go. But something magical happened. First, rain comes from the west. Clouds sweeping in. The storm hits where we are near Harper's Ferry, about an hour or so outside of D.C. South of D.C. is slammed by a major storm, but the major storm, as all the clouds are passing over, the storm systems form, splitting between D.C., so just the area of the White House gets no rain at all. Some people are saying it's a miracle. Well, I don't know if it's a miracle. A sign, maybe, because the storm that was supposed to stop the event parted, and we've got the NOAA recording of the radar data. Now, to be fair, sometimes it rains. I think that's what Bill Maher said. Sometimes it rains. Mm-hmm. And I look at this and I think, yeah, but with the left begging and cheering and claiming that it was divine intervention, that God hates Trump, and that message being blasted out with all the news saying, oh, it's going to get rained out, you're not going to go, and then the storm breaks just over the event, it is something else. It is something else. So we'll talk about that. We got a bunch of other stories, my friends. We got Republicans trying to impeach Obama judges. That's going to be really interesting. So we'll get into that. Before we do, we got a great sponsor for you. It is Tax Network USA. My friends, go to tnusa.com/Tim. Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? Or have you filed every year, but you still keep owing? Did you retire and suddenly get hit with a tax bill you did not expect? Are you a business owner with messy books and a balance you cannot afford? Maybe you pulled money from your 401k or IRA early. Now the IRS wants its share. Whatever the issue is, the outcome is the same. Your balance is not going down, penalties grow, interest compounds, and many of you are about to owe again for the upcoming tax year with no plan in place. Stop what you're doing now. Hit up Tax Network USA. The IRS is not waiting. The IRS is enforcing collections through wage garnishments, bank levies, and property seizures. They can even file for you without your consent. This is where Tax Network USA comes in. With over 15 years in the business, there hasn't been a tax case they have not seen or resolved. They specialize in tax controversies and help taxpayers nationwide get back on track by resolving back taxes and unfiled returns once and for all. Whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, their team has resolved over $1 billion in tax debt. They can do the same for you, but you got to call now. They're offering a free investigation call at the IRS. After that investigation, they put a clear case plan in place to resolve your tax problem and get you back on track. This is about using your legal rights to take control before the government sets the terms for you. Don't wait for another IRS letter or a frozen bank account. Call 866 866-686-1535. That's 866-686-1535, or visit tnusa.com/10. And big news, everybody, go to merch.timcast.com. We now got this big store up here with bunker branding. We got America 250 shirts. They're beautiful. My favorite is the 51st state. It's the moon. I think we own it. We shouldn't let anybody else take it, and it's ours. Hopefully Elon colonized it. Don't forget, we got Step on Snack and Find Out. Here's a good fun one. The F in communism stands for food. We're funny here. We make jokes, huh?
There is no F in communism.
Oh. So check out merch.timcast.com and pick up your merch. Smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you've known. You'll call your grandma right now and say, Grandma, I need you to watch Timcast IRL. Joining us tonight to talk about this and so much more is Seamus Coughlin.
Guys, it is so great to be back. It's been several months. For those of you who remembered, we fundraised an animated show, which our amazing audience and you guys helped us meet our goal for. And so that's been in production.
And then you went to Hawaii.
Yeah, what's that?
And then you went to Hawaii.
And then I just went to Hawaii. No. Then I bought a fur coat that cost the exact amount that the show's budget was. No, we've actually been putting our money where our mouth is in producing the show. So not only was the pilot already done when we went into the crowdfunding campaign, we've actually already finished our first episode. It's on YouTube. So this is not the pilot that some people saw who donated early. If you go over to Freedom Tunes, you will find our most recent video is the full 26-minute long first episode. People are loving it. The reception has been overwhelmingly positive. They're saying it's funny. They're saying it's entertaining and thought-provoking. So please support right-wing art that is actually fun and interesting instead of just preaching at you and trying to force a message, something that puts the entertainment first. If that interests you, go over to Freedom Tunes, go over to our YouTube channel, watch the released episode.
Let's go. The boys are hanging out.
I did some voices on it.
Yeah, that's right. Ian did a voice or two.
Quite enjoyable. I don't want to talk too much about moving the clouds around before we get into it, Phil, so maybe I'll save it for the show. But I did go to D.C. I put positive energy up into the clouds to move them apart. It seems to have done something.
Ian did nothing to affect the weather. My name is Phil Avanti. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and counter-revolutionary.
It's going to be like some time in the distant future. Phil's laying on the hospital bed. He's an old man. He's got his kids. He's got grandkids around him. They're like, Grandpa, you're a legend. You're a rock star. And he smiles and he gives one last devil horns before going into eternal slumber, where he finds himself at the pearly gates. And as he's walking up, they're like, welcome in, sir. By the way, it was Ian, actually. He did the weather in D.C. that day, and you go, damn it. Proving you wrong.
Ian put in a good word for you, Phil, so you're allowed in. Great to have you both.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming, Seamus, and let's get into it.
Here's the news from CNN. Gavin Newsom says the Trump DOJ is investigating him and his wife. Now, apparently it's being disputed. I don't care to play the full thing, but he's claiming persecution and weaponization. It's funny to hear come from this guy, but here it is.
In recent days, federal agents have knocked on the doors of family, friends, and former employees. Not because they found a crime, because they're simply trying to find one. They're demanding records. They're abusing the grand jury process, digging through years and years of random documents. Donald Trump isn't just coming after me because of my mean tweets. He's coming after me because I'm considering running for president, because he hates that I've consistently called him out over and over again for his lies and deceit. Donald Trump is simply the most corrupt president in American history.
Until me.
He's turned the levers of government into his own personal power ministries to reward cronies and to try to jail his opponents. His personal attorney now runs the Department of Justice, which has repeatedly gone after his political enemies. Ask Jerome Powell. Sent them after James Comey, Tish James, Adam Schiff. He sent them after Tim Walz, and a woman that a jury found Donald Trump had sexually abused. One by one, anyone who has challenged Donald Trump has ended up on his hit list. And today, I proudly join that list.
He's like trying to be on the list. So, well, we do have a couple things to add. Cameron Arkan says a source familiar confirms with Town Hall that there are numerous investigations ongoing into Gavin Newsom for about a year now, and they stemmed from whistleblowers in California, not the DOJ, his wife's taxes, and his chief of staff, according to the source. But wait, there's more. Jennifer Van Laar says maybe they're investigating you because your finances don't add up. or because your wife's LLC received the deed to a $9.1 million home a week before the LLC was even created, while you still had your Fair Oaks home, how was that LLC capitalized? She points out, do the math regarding Gavin Newsom's income. 1.4 million yearly income, 450K in taxes, 200K to domestic workers, 150K in private school tuition, 200K in property taxes, 20K in utilities. Okay, we're at 1 million. Now add 120,000 a year mortgage payments for a Sacramento house, and 506,000 a year in mortgage payments for the new house, which his in-laws had to guarantee. And that's not including food, clothes, entertainment, sports for 4 kids. Their financial disclosures don't show any large sales of assets. And Gavin can't sell assets out of his blind trust anyway, which is where the bulk of his assets are. If the trustees sell assets, the proceeds have to remain in the trust while he's in office. So I think she's referring specifically to his financial disclosures, which don't add up, which is silly. But let's just be real. Gavin Newsom is claiming this because he wants to be in the club. All these Democrats are like, Trump is targeting me. He's coming after us. And Gavin Newsom's sitting there all by himself because Trump doesn't really care, it sounds like. So Newsom himself made this claim. I mean, could you imagine if like I did a press conference and I was like, the DOJ is currently investigating Russians for secretly funneling money to me? Like, that'd be the stupidest thing in the world. It's fake, by the way.
Yeah.
But why would he come out and say this? He wants it. It's not going to work, but I think he wants to fundraise for 2028.
He wants to sell mugshot T-shirts. And you can see he's really aping Trump's bit here when he says, they're not just going after me for mean tweets. He so desperately wants to be the bad boy of Twitter who everyone goes to and says, wow, what an edgy take. I can't believe a politician spoke that way. But it's so lame because Trump already did it.
Yeah. You know, when all the times that I catch heat on X or whatever, or anytime I say something that like the metal blogs pick up, a lot, like most of the time, it's like, I don't know that it's going to happen, right? Like I made a post or I was on a podcast last week talking about men's problems and therapy and stuff like that. I was like, therapy's really not for men. It's really for women. You know what I mean? It's like guys kind of have a different way of dealing with their problems. Men will have a better success rate if they're having personal accomplishments and stuff like that. And women kind of look for social validation and stuff.
They're external processors. Yeah. Women like figure out their thoughts by talking in a way that men are more likely to do internally.
Men punch things.
Yeah, men go around and punch things and drink monsters.
Just shove it all down and have a heart attack like a real man. No, but seriously.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you.
But the point is, like I said that in a podcast and the blogs picked it up, and then next thing you know, people are wigging out. We're getting a bunch of comments and stuff on our Instagram page and stuff, and it's like, I really do imagine
way worse.
Way worse. Way like in that same podcast, I was like, no, you should have normal relationships, not gay or lesbian relationships. Like those are we should focus. Like nobody picked up on that. I called them normal.
Dude, this is the other thing too. I feel like every comedian has a podcast where they talk about going to therapy. You see this so often from celebrities where they emphasize the value of this thing, but therapy is a medical intervention. In like every medical intervention, there are side effects, and people pretend there aren't, and it's something you should just endlessly recommend to everyone, but it is not for everybody. Therapy can damage your brain.
This is a
like any
completely different subject to Gavin
100%,
Newsom.
You're right.
But the point that I was trying to make is like Donald Trump's tweets that get people riled up, I bet at least 50 to 75% of them are organic. He's just saying what he thinks.
Yes. Right.
People get worked up. Gavin Newsom trying to actually force this stuff.
It's called forced memes.
Seems forced.
Yes.
And you can see right through it. That's part of the reason why Spencer Pratt, people really responded to his ads and stuff like that, because it doesn't seem forced. The stuff that he was doing on the debates, where it's like, making faces, like that was his natural reaction. And that honesty is really something people respond to. And Gavin Newsom, he's just forcing it. It's just not the same thing. I wasn't trying to derail the conversation.
No, but there's nothing transgressive about anything Gavin Newsom is going to say either. He's in lockstep with the establishment on literally everything. All of his opinions are advertiser safe and friendly, even though they're horrible. So it's not as if he's saying something that people are going to go, man, I can't believe he really went there and said it out loud, because it's all anodyne.
If he did it in a real way, maybe he could be like a leader and a speaker for the voice of that movement. This was obviously scripted. He was talking like this because he's reading a thing, and it was very inarticulate and annoying, actually, to listen to, in my opinion, for me. But if he was like off the cuff saying what he truly believed about this and when flowing hard, you might get behind him. You might be able to anyway. But this was just, I mean, this is just a scripted. We're trying to be like Trump.
I like we said, it's just so forced. And he wants to be, like you were saying earlier, he wants to be that bad boy. He wants to have that kind of chemistry with the people that are watching and people that may be voters. That's why he did all the right-wing podcasts and all or the centrist podcasts or whatever. But it's not him.
And then he flipped all his positions.
Yeah.
Well, and also, I mean, he has too much of a curated and polished look to pull it off. So one of the reasons, and you pointed this out, that Trump resonates with people, for better or for worse, is because he's just saying things like he's thrown it off the cuff.
Yeah.
He didn't focus group this. He didn't market it. And that works when you have the kind of image Trump has. When you have the unfiltered image, people forgive mean statements because it's like just coming out of you. But if you have this very curated, well put together focus group image and you're being mean, it's like, oh, this person's cruelty is calculated. It actually sends a very different message. You're no longer belligerent. You're actually scary.
So Trump has a famous tweet where he said, "I've never seen a thin person drinking Diet Coke." And it's like, it's a shower thought, but it's funny because you think about it and you're like, that's a good point. You know?
Yeah.
But here's the thing is, he says something like that, and then you got this woke era where they were like, stop making fun of people for being otherly fatted or whatever the word was.
Otherly fatted.
Differently bodied.
Yeah.
And it was just like, shut up, dude.
And then
It's funny. Leave me alone.
then Ozempic was released and all the
Body positivity vanished.
Yeah.
Up in
As soon as these fat, lazy women they got a lazy way to lose weight. Now all of a sudden they were like, yeah, we don't care anymore.
I noticed when Trump first got elected in 2016, there was like a 3-day period. Either it was before he got right after he got elected or right after he got sworn in. And then all of a sudden I started seeing racism on Twitter. And I was like, what? It wasn't like people became racist, but the racists felt like they could be racist now because he kind of gave them a green card because he had been saying some racist.
green card.
The green
Green card. They gave him a
Green
card.
light.
But it also kind of then it created the censorship complex where people lashed back, and you got the woke era of like, no, they went too far, stop. But then it ebbed back the other direction, and now you can say, well, I'm not going to say it now, but you can say dirtier words online and not get thrown off. You can call people names and not get your channel demonetized or blacklisted. So
You can talk about the vaccines.
finally,
Man.
he spent like 4 years dodging and weaving through that because Biden was in office telling Twitter behind the scenes to censor people for saying wrong speak. It was
No, just because they lost. And that's the UFC thing. It's watching woke and the left just wither into a dry husk.
For that, I appreciate Trump's off-the-cuff stuff. I do. Sometimes it's hard to swallow. Like when he was making fun of Rosie, it's like, bro, you're the president now. You do not have to go after a singular woman and go dog hard on this girl. Like you.
I mean, I didn't mention this in the intro, but you know, when that dude yelled Michelle Obama was a man, you know the culture shifted.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big shift from naked trans people dancing at the White House to a dude getting on the microphone and yelling Michelle Obama's a man. And based on what they were doing in 2024 with the naked trans people, it's kind of like, I mean, that is up their alley, you know. I don't know.
Kind of you should have followed it up with, not that there's anything wrong with that.
I guess if I had to side, and it's not like you have to pick one direction or the other, but I take like crude thoughts out loud better than censorship. And like,
You got what you got to say is you got to say something like, "I am inspired every day by Michelle Obama being a proud and outspoken individual with so much transphobia out there." That's how you do it. Because then, you know, because my view is then when they're like, you can't say that. Well, we'll say what? That Michelle Obama's a man. I didn't say that.
You could also say,
said,
like,
don't be a
she's
transphobe.
an amazing man, a woman. You know, it's in the word.
Okay, all right. Let's actually talk about it. I want to show you. We had the UFC event. It was beautiful. Take a look at this photo. I can't believe it. Is this photo real? Michael Knowles posted this. The president paid to get the epic flyover UFC photo, and it was well worth whatever the cost. But stop to consider that he got this picture for free. This photo was unbelievable. I don't believe it. But the reflection in the water with the lightning strike, I don't think it's AI. But again, it's so incredible. I find it actually hard. Do you see this, Seamus?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's amazing.
Is it striking the monument? Is that what's happening?
No, it's the lightning strike is behind. And in fact, there were a bunch of lightning strikes throughout the clouds, and this is just one photo. Take a look at this image. UFC Freedom 250. This is an absolutely incredible photograph. Absolutely incredible. But you guys, there was a miracle that day. Just yesterday. Actually, and including in the wee hours of the morning as we filmed this show live. Jack Posobiec posted this. The storm the left was praying for suddenly parted just as it passed over and missed Washington, D.C. completely. How is this possible? Well, we know what Jack means because he is a devout believer in God and Jesus Christ. And I saw this and I said, there's a little storm pocket south of D.C. There's a storm pocket north of D.C. I mean, you know what I think? I think this is just some storm pockets emerged, and they're making it look like this much more dramatic thing. So here's the news. The New York Times, there's a bunch of social media on Reddit. Storms could disrupt UFC event at the White House on Sunday. Forecaster said the weather around Washington is likely to be hot and stormy. And here's the radar data. This is UTC. So this is just before the event was supposed to take place. Let me zoom out here. Now, what you need to understand about the radar imagery, these big storm clusters, it's actually dark clouds everywhere. It's cloudy everywhere, but the clouds over, Sterling and Reston, they're not heavy storm clouds, just dark clouds. Where it's raining is here. Now go back a few minutes. Take a look at this. Indeed, a major storm cell was approaching, and there was a rain delay. But look at this. While the left was praying for rain to ruin the event, this major storm cluster passes just north because the White House is down here. So a little bit of rain in the vicinity, a minor delay, but it passes over. Now look at the storm cluster below. Disappears. But wait, I think there's more actually. As we move forward throughout the night, this major storm cluster appears once again, just stays right beneath where the White House grounds and the National Mall is. This storm passed by. There are clouds overhead. It was storming by us at Harper's Ferry, and I'm thinking like, oh, this is going to be bad. And the clouds, as they're heading the direction, the storm goes around north and south of D.C. Now, I don't know if I could say that's a miracle because sometimes it rains. I mean, it's just, But I would say to me, it seems like a sign because this event was tremendous. It was inspirational. It was a major event with some 80 to 100,000 people on the National Mall and at the White House grounds celebrating America, with a major sporting event, with a guy yelling out at the top of his lungs, Michelle Obama is a man. And it was incredible. I know, Sean Strickland got thrown out and there's some contentious debate and stuff like this. But all in all, watching this was inspirational. With the lightning strikes in the background, it was an incredible image. And you know what? The storm passed right over. North D.C., drenched. South of D.C., drenched. White House grounds, just fine for the event. I say, God wills it.
Maybe, but also willpower is an interesting concept. The humans have it too. I think our bodies, my take on this is that our bodies are producing magnetic fields. I mean, that's scientific fact. Your body, because maybe it's the flowing iron through the bloodstream, you have this human dynamo, this small, weak magnetic field. If you put a magnetic field inside of another magnetic field, they interfere. So our body's magnetic fields are inside of the Earth's magnetic field. There's a connection between those two things. And I've been practicing for about 15 years moving clouds with my willpower. The Native Americans had rain dances and things. I think that positive energy, it seems, can make clouds dissipate like oil and water. They spread out and get thin, whereas negative energy binds them together and can cause storms. You have to. It's like learning how to whistle. You have to learn what it feels like, the difference of positive and negative.
Okay,
but if you pray and focus,
your point could have been made in 5 seconds that you think you control weather, and that's fine.
Well, I don't know if control is the
for
right
most
word.
people, they're like, what is he even talking about, and why is it relevant?
When I bring up the Native American rain dances, it starts to hit home a little more for people.
Well, let me put it like this: the left was doing that, and it didn't work.
The Native American rain dances.
Not possibly. They were literally doing it, and it didn't work. It's a fact. Fact statement. Leftists were posting online, begging for rain, celebrating rain, posting how they were going to do rain dances, and the storm broke, and the event, it passed right by the parting of the storm.
Anecdotally, I was driving to D.C. around 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, praying, I guess you would say, but focusing positive energy up into those dark gray clouds and let them dissipate.
Let me show you guys this. Let me show you guys this from the Weather Channel. This is what they had claimed on the 14th. So this is yesterday morning. UFC Freedom 250 is facing a chaotic weather setup on the White House South Lawn. with a 60% chance of thunderstorms, heavy downpours, and wind gusts up to 34 miles an hour threatening to delay the outdoor fights. On top of the storm risk, brutal DC humidity is driving triple-digit heat index alongside massive swarms of mosquitoes and gnats that fighters will have to battle inside the cage. While the venue's massive 92-foot overhang will keep the octagon dry, a single lightning strike within 8 miles will trigger an automatic 30-minute freeze-out on the entire event. What? Yo, first of all, none of that happened. 34, could you imagine mosquitoes and gnats flying around in a 34-mile-an-hour wind gust? Just blows them all away. So which is it? They were trying so hard to tell people not to come to this. They lose. And guess what, guys? Even Bud Light paid to be a part of this event. Sorry, you guys had your Bud Light moment, but they saw the writing on the wall, lost billions of dollars, and even they're off the woke train.
I appreciate
the left has lost, and with the Weather Channel saying it's going to be brutal, it's going to be bad, the storm parted, and it was magic.
I will not take God's name in vain. I do believe that we are connected with God and that our bodies are able to interface with.
That's why we pray.
Exactly. You're able to pray because you have a body. And I also appreciate skeptics big time. So I'm not telling you like, hey, just believe me that your body is interacting with the clouds.
You know I'm just imagining, because they put this graphic up, rain, 30-mile-an-hour winds, and mosquitoes. So what they're trying to make you think is that the mosquitoes are like darts.
Seamus, do you think that Ian prayed to God and God said, Ian, I got your back, and parted the clouds for Ian?
I'll have to ask if I get to heaven.
I actually didn't pray to God. I just focused energy into the clouds.
Is this
like pouring
is
a
this a miracle,
little oil in the
Seamus?
water.
So you cast the magic spell. Hold on. Ian just said that he cast a magic spell by pouring some oil into water.
No, it's like pouring oil into water. The way it shoots away from itself
right,
when a drop of water hits oil, it goes flying apart. If you do that with positive energy, that's what the clouds seem to do.
I retract my statement.
What were you saying, Shane?
So, Tim just asked if it was a miracle. I believe a miracle has to have no clear natural explanation. People could argue it's a sign. I don't know if I'd argue that. I don't know enough about the situation, and you got to be careful to just jump on everything you
I think it's a
see
sign.
being a sign or a coincidence.
I think it's a sign because of this, because the storm is forecast in advance. Leftists are praying and cheering and dancing up and down. And then the storm happens, but it breaks just over DC, so the event goes off without a hitch.
Or it's weather modification tools that we don't.
Okay, that's so other people.
Hold
I
on.
think that's even more far-fetched.
Or it's all the people at Warped Tour that were upset about that wanted to make sure that they were praying for no rain too, because that was right down the street.
So there are people. So the devout Trump supporters are saying it's a sign from God. He helped. You know, he said this is good. And the anti-Trump people are saying it's DARPA using weather-modifying technology. They fired beams slicing the storm in half so that Trump could do his event.
I've had crazy.
That'd be such a great abuse of that technology. I mean, exactly the right way to abuse it.
Could you imagine? They're like, Trump is so corrupt. He used our weather modification for his UFC event.
How dare he?
It's more anecdotal, but I don't know if you guys do Tai Chi or Reiki or anything like that. I have been
Ian, what
practicing.
are you talking about?
It's moving your magnetic
Tim.
field.
Yeah.
Like Taoism's
Talking about
about the
magic.
flow of nature, the magnetic fields. They didn't know what magnetism was when they were building the religion,
Really?
but yeah. And then so I was doing Tai Chi on my roof in New York, full cloud cover with these rubber hoses. I was doing like moving around like, and then flipping, and you could hear whipping in the wind. And then all of a sudden above me, I noticed the clouds are spinning. They start spinning above me. Literally, this black cloud cover starts rotating, and then it opened up. I look up and I can see the moon through like a hole in the clouds rotating above me.
Rose
I'm
like,
just imagining Ian in like Tornado Alley, and he's just like whipping around rubber hoses, and then he sees a funnel cloud overhead, and he's like, I'm doing this. And then it sucks him up and kills him.
Homie, I don't know the extent of this power.
I saw X-Men, and I really liked that Storm chick, and now I can do that.
You can't. Ask Luke Rutkowski, who also will not lie to you. We were sitting on Miami Beach. He was like, it was gonna rain so heavy. I'm like, I'll pray, I'll focus positive to keep the rain away. And I was doing it, just like meditating and focusing. And he's like, okay, Ian, bring the rain now. I'm like, are you sure, Luke? He's like, yeah, bring it. And I'm like, okay. So I focused the negative, and the thunder cracks, and they're like, what the? And it was, and Amy Dangerfield and Lauren Hayden are there too. And I'm like, and they're like, oh, and then I focus it in, the winds pick up, and they're like, oh my God. Then it starts to rain, and people are like running and covering their heads. This is within like 5
And
minutes.
like a wind gust came and scooped Ian up, and he's floating in the sky, and his eyes turned white. His hair is flying, and then he's like, now I am your God. And then he struck Luke with lightning. Luke died.
Luke was shocked.
He's gone.
He was
there's no We Are Change anymore.
And like once you get a storm going, it's hard to get it to stop. It takes a lot of energy to slow it down. But so there's that inflection point where you can kind of decide if it's gonna the clouds are gonna come together or go apart if you catch it early.
It's funny because like on this show, no one's smoking pot, but it's almost like Ian already did somehow.
Well, for about 30 years, 20 years.
So we're just there permanently.
But bro, yeah, because it helps you feel like hypers your sensitivity, so you can like feel static.
I love how we were
energy.
like, there's a miracle at the UFC event, and Ian's just dying to talk about his weather abilities.
Yeah, I want to normalize it because if we really can interfere with weather patterns with our focus,
I mean, how do you answer that,
imagine-
James? I mean,
I would warn
Where's your
against
God
Reiki.
now?
I would warn against New Age practices. People say they're spiritual, but you got to be specific because demons are spirits. And
you just imagine like Ian's dancing on the beach, and he's like, I'm changing the weather. And it's a demon standing next to him being like,
I mean, look, man, Ian specifically says that he's not a Christian, that he's not sure if it's God. It's,
He's
all
just
kinds of
talking with
spiritual stuff.
demons all the time.
If the Christians are right, if Seamus is right, you're dealing with demons.
I'm just
the
imagining
way it
there's
goes.
like Ian's doing this weather dance, and there's a demon actually spinning the clouds. Like another demon walks up and is like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm tricking this guy into thinking he controls the weather." Why? It's funny.
My guess is it's magnetism, but that somewhere beneath that, at like the subatomic state, there is a spin occurring that is God, the vortexual function,
It's not.
causing magnetism.
so do you believe it's a magnetic thing that can be reduced to a scientific explanation, or do you believe it's a spiritual phenomenon?
Well, until we can scientifically prove it, they'll call it spiritual. But once we can get our eyes on the small changes in subatomic space-time, we might understand why our perception is altering the space around us.
But if it can be investigated scientifically, why wouldn't other people be changing the weather?
Oh gosh, maybe they are. The Native Americans, they literally, that was a big part of their culture.
Maybe Ian stole the powers from the
Potentially,
Native
but they
Americans.
also, certain groups of natives would sacrifice children to make the sun come up in the morning. So
Yes, because blood has iron in it, which is magnetic. I think human sacrifice does have an effect on things, which is terrifying. I just don't do
I
it.
don't
it's
believe
largely-
disavow right off
Yeah,
the
I'm
bat.
not into blood
disavow.
magic. Blood magic, I've never done it. I'm not interested in it. It
Don't
seems
do it.
dangerous.
It's not true. He does blood magic.
No, I never have. I've done black magic.
I don't even know what that is.
don't do any of it.
Black magic.
Don't
is,
do any
I
of it.
love you. Don't
like-
mess with that
Like,
stuff.
did you ever watch the spear cooking video? Ian's in the background.
Let me tell you the difference between black magic and blood magic. Black magic is you want to cause someone harm, so you pray for their harm, and it affects everyone around you, including the person you're aiming at. So it hits everybody. It's like Pestilence in Magic the Gathering. But then blood magic is actually using the iron and blood to get a magnetic response. The Aztecs did it.
Stop trying to science my magic.
Yeah, it's all real.
Like,
Magnetics, magic.
Either
MAG,
either
you know?
there we have a soul that can will things into existence, or not. It's not the iron in my blood, like midi-chlorians or whatever, communing with the force.
One thing that you talk about a lot is like magnetic fields and stuff, right? We have when I say we, I mean like human beings, scientists. They have a really good understanding of the electromagnetic force. Like there's 4 forces in the universe. There's the electromagnetic force, the strong force, the weak force, and gravity. Gravity, they're still kind of not sure about a lot of it. The other 3, they know a lot about. So if you really want to know about this stuff and find out the ins and outs, you can just watch YouTube videos.
We had Wei Ping Yu on a culture war. He's a NASA scientist falls in line with the magnetic universe theory, which is like the Thunderbolts project, where they actually believe that gravity is a form of magnetism. He showed us a magnet. He's like, how much do you think it'll lift? And it lifted a lot. Then he folds it over into like a cube, and he's like, how much do you think it'll pick up
weaker.
now? And it was weaker. The magnetic force neutralizes because a sphere polarizes at every side. It depolarizes itself or polarizes itself into a neutralized state. And I think that's what planets are. They're magnets that have folded over into spheres. They're very weak magnets.
He used a static electricity generator thing to create like weak magnetic pole that pulled a toilet paper tube.
Yeah.
He like pointed it and pulled the trigger, and it went. Ooh,
And they
that's-
work
it's pretty
similarly
cool.
like gravity. The closer you get, the faster you snap to it. It's like the Casimir effect.
Not all planets have a magnetic field, and all planets have gravity.
Well, they call it gravity, but it's the same. And in fact, Maxwell's equation of electromagnetism is the same equation of Newton's theory of gravity. It's just
proves it.
It's a different constant. It's the same function.
Yo, speaking of magnetism and science and all that, from Variety, UFC boss Dana White condemns fighter Josh Hockett for saying Michelle Obama is a man. I hate that kind of nonsense. Guys, it was funny. That's it. Like, everyone's got to act like they're all outraged. I understand the Obamas are public figures, but I'm completely against saying nasty and false things about people's families. Everyone knows my position on free speech, but I hate that kind of nonsense. I mean, listen, there's a lot of people that think Michelle Obama is a man. And who was that lady who died? Remember that?
Oh, yeah, the plastic surgery.
Jane.
Something Joan.
And she was like, Michelle Obama's a transgender.
Sounds like Joan Rivers. Yeah, Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers. That was her.
Oh,
and
really? Okay.
yeah, she said an interview where she said Michelle Obama's a transgender.
Yep.
She died.
And then there's lashback at her.
There's a
and she was
video
like,
of
"I
Michelle
give up
Obama
on this
dancing
world."
on Ellen, and like she's like shaking her hips and something smacking the front of her pants.
That's where this all comes from.
Weird
That
Yeah,
episode.
and everyone's like, "Yo, what's dangling there, huh?"
And it's
like-
got to be just pants folding. I mean,
I
folded.
don't know, bro.
I mean, it doesn't have to be, but
It looks
I
weird.
hope it is.
It looks very weird.
Like Barack, he wouldn't
Well,
go for.
We got more. We can play the. We got this from TMZ. Shane Gillis tells TMZ he didn't love Josh Hockett calling Michelle Obama a man. He didn't love it. He really loved it. Is that what he's gonna say?
Hey Shane, how'd you enjoy the night, man? It's pretty cool. What do you think of Josh Hockett's joke?
Can you please?
What do you think of him saying Michelle Obama's a man?
I didn't love that.
Didn't love it? How come?
Why did you think?
What?
He said, "Why do you think?"
A lot of people have said the opposite. That's why I.
Oh, I don't like that.
Trump's job.
He's in full defense mode right now because he doesn't want to get hijacked by some dumb shit.
What do you think of the cancel culture?
You guys got me on a couple brewskis.
All right, thank you guys.
But yeah, I didn't like that.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna go back to his buddies and be like, "I thought it was hilarious."
We're heading back. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Shane.
I mean, he didn't really say all that much.
No.
But the idea that Michelle Obama is a man has been around for a long time. It was Hockett. We got the video clip for you right here.
And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
They're cheering for him.
Ladies and
Rogan's like, "What the fuck?"
They were cheering.
I was like, "What the?"
So they agree.
The way that he said it, I take that as, it's like he intended to be funny. It was, it fell kind of flat with most people, I think, but he thought he intended to be making a joke. Maybe he does think it, but he also just got hit in the head a bunch.
Oh, that's true too. What did they say about Macron's wife? Candace Owens was saying that she was a man.
Yeah.
and actually got sued. by
So
the French
so
government.
here's the thing.
Oh, okay.
What is this music?
I don't know. So this is a video that's like just been going viral quite a bit. And I know there's people going to be like, "Oh, Tim, you shouldn't play this stuff." And heaven forbid if we were actually like a network television show, they would never let us play this video. They'd be like, "Are you nuts? You can't show that. We'll get sued." But I'm going to show it anyway. So, some people are like, "That's just the fabric, of the pants."
Yeah. I'm in camp fabric.
But look.
I mean, it looks
Right
like
here.
testicles when you
There's
do that.
clearly two things that are round hitting the front of those pants.
But that would be so. First, it shows like that would be up high testicles, but then it would show like the schlong down below, which doesn't make sense. So anatomically upside down.
Well, what is going on? And even the dog is confused. Look at him.
Yeah.
Dog's like, well, what is this, huh? And they got the music.
The dog's tongue was a little much.
Now, to be honest, I'm
Just
pretty
some
sure
things
that
I don't need to see.
no,
I'm not.
just fact check. I don't think the dog was actually watching the Michelle Obama video.
I don't think so either.
It's not clear from the video. But this is like this video. This one's got 325,000 views. It was posted today. It gets posted nonstop, especially with this dude not coming out and saying it. Everybody, you know what? I should find the Joan Rivers one.
Seamus, what do you think? Is she a man or a
Is
woman?
Michelle Obama a man? Listen, man, I'm not watching that video. I don't want to look. at
Hold
that.
on. Wait. Why? She's just dancing.
What if it's fake? I don't know.
No,
I just don't need,
hold.
Once
Whoa.
what you have to remember, guys, is that your brain is a glue trap. Okay, and you can't just pull images out of it. I don't need that in my head. I don't need to. look at
So
that.
here's
I
the
don't need to
issue.
see that.
You just admitted everything.
I didn't admit to anything.
You've admitted it all. If that's just Michelle Obama dancing wearing normal clothes where her pants are
If it's
folding in a
real,
weird
I have
way.
no idea where this video comes from.
It's
what
Ellen.
kind of special effects we use, if that's really a close-up
So you're
footage.
saying, but you're like, I don't want to watch it, indicating
Yeah.
you believe that's a dung.
I believe that what was presented there seems to appear to be, but I have no idea if that's real footage of her. I have no idea if that's real footage
Seamus,
of her or if that's
you say you're on team
special effects, if
Team
it's
Hockett.
a bit somebody's doing.
Are you saying you think that Ellen DeGeneres edited that clip to make Michelle Obama look like she has a penis?
I think it was.
If it was edited, I don't think it would be Ellen DeGeneres doing it.
Actually, I don't know. People really don't like her. Remember when she lied? What was it? She lied about Justin Bieber?
Ellen?
Apparently, she's lied about a bunch of things.
Listen, this is just a
claims
rabbit
she
hole
wasn't
I've
invited to
not
some party.
explored.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
I'm trying to look it up on X, but it won't come up.
The Ellen show was awesome back in
Yo.
the day. I think Jeremy Piven
That's
was on it.
interesting.
Yo, X,
okay,
is
full-
X down?
Just for disclosure, I think she's a
He
woman.
one-shotted you,
Yeah.
Tim. They pulled you off the network.
Yeah, because I was just using it, and I'm trying to search for Michelle Obama. Oh, I got it. We got it.
Okay.
What happened? No. What?
Did the video get deleted in real
It
time?
disappeared.
Really?
Scrub the footage.
Whoa, well, hold on.
Before the world is enlightened to this nuance.
Yo, look at that.
What is going on?
Dude, this is weird. I'm trying to pull the video up, but it keeps disappearing. I can play it.
Miss Rivers, how are you? You made a ton of news officiating the wedding in New York yesterday. Is this like a new cottage career move for you?
I'm so excited.
Okay.
And I should do very well because I don't choke.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman
we already
president?
have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
a transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
It's okay.
She does
It's like Joan's a little drugged out, but also a very funny woman, and that was a joke. And
It was in 20.
Ian, what do you think?
Listen.
I think she's
it was
hot.
2014.
No.
Okay, hold on.
I don't even know.
Seamus, this was 2014.
Michelle
It was
Joan?
2014 when she said this. Okay, Obama was still in office when this was said, and there weren't conspiracy theory videos about Michelle Obama being a man when Joan Rivers said this.
Really?
This is one of the first things that kicked off the transvestigation.
Miss Rivers, how are you?
Really?
Yes.
does have larger shoulders than your average girl. She's muscular. I give her that, but she's beautiful. That woman fine. I think Barack just nailed it out of the
Okay,
park
so I
with her.
disavow that too. I don't think she's a man, but I don't think she's beautiful either.
Really? I think she's invigorating. Probably lifted that guy up out of just a
Bro, look at this. CNN.com's got the story. Joan Rivers jokes Obama is gay. See, this is like predictive programming kind of stuff. That was not a joke. She literally just told the guy.
Are they saying Joan Rivers jokes Obama's gay? First lady is transgender.
That proves it.
So they corroborated her.
So here's why they do this. Here's why they do this in the media. Once that video goes viral and everyone's like, "Did you hear Joan Rivers said that Obama's transgender?" Go, "Oh, it was a joke." Don't you read the news? CNN said it was a joke. So they changed the story.
I feel bad for Joan in a way because
She's dead?
She was old and like obviously winding down. But after that happened, I remember there was like a week of just people lashed out at her, like, "How could you say that, you evil?" And she's like, "Are you fucking serious, you people? It was a joke." And then she just died. She's like, "I give
She
up."
said that.
She was like, "Are you crazy?" It was she tried to defend herself and then was just so exhausted by it all, just like gave up.
Well,
And
that
she
was not a
died.
joke, bro.
Oh, she was joking around.
When she said,
Obama's gay.
"Yeah,
Yeah, she was joking.
Yeah, no,
That's
she-
Joan.
no, she
she was
wasn't.
drugged out when she was saying that.
yeah, that's not a joke."
Of course, yeah, she was joking around. She's a comedian.
When she was walking on the street and a guy asked her, "Do we have a gay president?" He goes, "We already do with Obama."
Yeah, she was joking.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think that's Joan Rivers. You know, she was hilarious back in the day.
That was
Female
she was deadpan.
Yeah.
So it was the worst joke I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Because her delivery was like dead serious. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Even the guy's like confused by what she's
I
saying.
think she was on Ambien. I can't tell. Her emotions were flat. She was like, "It's okay." As she's walking away, you're like, "Oh God, she's still going with the joke, even though no one's listening." That's indicative of drugs.
I mean, I don't care if
She did not apologize. She leaned in and said said more.
I don't think
She said
that-
it's a compliment. She's so attractive, tall, with a beautiful body and great face. Take a look and go back to LaCaja Fole, is that how you say it? The most gorgeous women are transgender. Bro, she didn't say it was a joke. She leaned into it.
Didn't she say, "Can't you guys take a joke at some point?" Maybe not verbatim, but
I don't know,
at some point
maybe.
she was like, "Can't you guys?"
It says she did not apologize.
I don't think she ever.
And media outlets called it a joke.
Joan Rivers. I didn't follow her.
Many people said it was much more serious than a joke. It sounded to me like it was not a joke. Like, bro, if I came on the show and I was like, Ian has cancer, I'm just kidding. It's a joke. That's not a joke.
No, but if you came on like stoned on Ambien and you said it, people would believe you.
So you can't add stoned on Ambien. You made that up.
Well, she looks stoned in that clip.
That's an opinion that's made up. It's outside the fact. The
okay,
facts
it's
are
true.
she's
She
getting
might
out of a car.
be old.
A guy asked her a question. She said something deadpan serious. Like, imagine if I went on this show and I was like, ladies and gentlemen, Ian was hit by a car. He's in the hospital. And moving on. And I
Yeah,
never.
but if you were
and
like,
then,
Ian is gay and
No.
his husband is transgender, people would probably know your joke.
Except if I started the show and I said, we have an announcement. Ian Crossland has come out as gay. And and we respect it. And we just want to say shout out to Ian and be you, brother. Anyway, the news is people would be
people
like,
would believe you, yeah, for sure.
what? Is like he just straight up said Ian was gay. And then later on, if someone was like, why did you say Ian was gay? Were you joking? I say, listen, I have no problem with Ian choosing to be with a man. If he wants to be gay, I've got lots of friends who are gay, and Ian is just one of them. So that's all I have to say in the matter. People are gonna be like, that's not a joke.
But also, you're not a comedian by trade. Joan is a comedian by trade, so there's more.
I think Dinesh D'Souza also shared a meme about this. It wasn't like a deliberate claim or anything, but I think he included that somewhere in the movie he made. But I could be wrong.
What claim about what?
Oh, the same claim that Joan Rivers made.
It's so ridiculous. I mean, come on. It's not a real.
Why is it ridiculous?
Well, I mean, she's a woman.
How do you know?
Obama.
So we can't believe
Michelle,
Joan
she has
Rivers
two
because
kids?
she's a woman? You think her statement was ridiculous
Aren't there,
because
like-
she's a woman?
Aren't there
Yes.
birth records of the kids of what are the two kids? The girls' names? Obama's.
Well, if you watch these conspiracy videos, what they do is they show the kids don't look like Michelle. They'll show the daughters, and then they'll show Michelle and they'll be like, they do not look the same.
Maybe
That's their argument, I guess. I don't
Maybe
know.
Barack got a surrogate lady to trick the world into dating a dude, but come on, it's so ridiculous.
I mean, look, to be honest, I do not believe Michelle Obama is a guy, but I don't think it's impossible. And I think Joan Rivers, I do not believe she was joking. I don't know that proves anything, but people believe it. There's not strong evidence to go off of other than that weird Ellen video, but that's weird. There's a bunch of other videos too. It's the same thing with the Brigitte Macron thing. It's like you just looked at it. You know what the funny thing is? You're really just calling Michelle Obama ugly. You know what I mean?
that's really.
It's like she's a guy. You're just calling her an ugly woman.
I think that's why
ugly
even
manly woman.
Dana White spoke out against it because it really is just saying Michelle Obama looks like a man, which is
what if
an
Michelle
insult.
Obama just had she was storing her Newton's cradle in her pants,
Which is
while
more
she was
likely,
dancing,
her ruler,
as one does.
because she's
Well, there was a trend a while ago. It's very mean, but there was a trend where people were commenting on left-wing women's pictures saying, "You are such a beautiful trans woman."
Yeah.
Because they're technically not allowed to get mad, but they do know that it's an insult. So as the left has tried to subvert the idea of male and female, totally eliminate it, they consider themselves gender abolitionists. None of it's real. It's all socially constructed. Well, then by their logic, it actually isn't an insult to say that. I can say that it is an insult to call a woman a man. I think that's very wrong, but they can't say that because there's no fundamental difference. It's just a question of identity.
You mean so if I told you you're a beautiful transgender man, it's like that? It's
Yeah, like that.
serious.
I wouldn't receive it as a compliment.
I hope not. I mean, it wasn't an insult. I was just neutrally pointing out that you could go either way. I'd be fine with it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You have a
buddy.
good jawline.
I appreciate that, pal.
You guys have stared in the mirror and been like, I could be a beautiful woman, right?
No.
No, I don't think
Never?
so, man.
I was in the theater.
Is that what you do, Ian?
Yeah, I was playing Laertes, and I'm like,
Ian
damn, my
is
hair
a-
was pulled back. I was like,
I got to shout out some of these fakes because they're hilarious. Look at this
Ian
one.
is
So
a theater.
here's the real photo of Obama with Michelle,
There she is.
and then someone made this one where they just photoshopped Michelle to look like a guy.
nah, you can tell she's a woman.
Ian,
but
do you
being
just wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and just think that you're a guy? I mean, you're a chick or something?
usually, yeah.
No, he just wakes
Oh, a
up and
chick?
thinks that he's beautiful.
No, I just knew I could have been a hot chick because of my bone structure.
Oh.
I just got one.
There's a bunch of these photos. Look at this one. This is from Instagram of Barack with Michelle, and then somebody photoshopped it. Let me show you this. I got to zoom in. It's hard because the internet's deleting all of these, right?
Yeah.
So, so they edited it to make him a guy.
I feel like it's hard.
That's messed up, man.
It's hard to insult Barack Obama because he's such an awesome guy. Obviously, did some horrible shit as president we could go on about. But generally, as like a person, he's so likable that it's hard to insult him. And this is the way people try to get under his skin, is going after his
But
wife.
you could just point out things he said, like in private letters about the thoughts he has about men.
Or when he accidentally called Michelle Michael several times in public speeches. That's true. That's true.
You're not helping your case there, Mr. President.
And had gay thoughts. You say he
C-SPAN.
He had a
No, this can't be real.
Exactly because we can replace one great warrior with another, and we here's deep states. Thank you very much. Secretary Panetta, thank you for your introduction and for your extraordinary leadership. To members of Congress, Vice President Biden, members of the Joint Chiefs, service secretaries, distinguished guests, and men and women of the finest military in the world. And most of all, Admiral Mullen, Deborah. Michael and I also want to acknowledge your son Jack, who's deployed today. All of you have performed extraordinary service to our country. Before I begin, I want to say a few...
But is he
How
just
do we know
referring? Yeah, he's just talking about his
who is
friend
he
Michael.
referring to? Can you scroll up? What is the?
No, this is a clip. It says Obama says
Obama
Michael.
says Michael. And I,
Yeah, what if he's got a friend
Yeah.
named like Mike
Yeah.
Smith?
was there someone in his
You know what I mean?
admin with Michael as his name?
Yeah.
Okay, actually, very
Or if he's
common
just
name.
maybe he was so deep in reading a script that he misread the word Michelle.
No, I think it's more likely that he's got a friend named Michael, or there's somebody in the military named Michael. He's like, Michael and I want to, and everyone's like, oh, yeah. It's so apparently
This is inconclusive.
he was talking about a guy named Michael. He was talking about Mike Mullen. Yeah, this is it's just fake. It's just lies.
Man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like, come on, humans, Americans, we need to come together to make the world be like us.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Hold on.
What?
Google says in a 2015 video, he said, "I walk with my husband Michael and hold hands. It's like a whole new world for me." In this case, he was reading a letter out loud that was sent to him by a woman named Deborah.
Oh,
I missed that.
Oh man,
It was definitely Michael Mullen is who he's talking about.
I remember I was hanging out in LA with Robbie, and I'm like sitting on his couch, probably watching just like Simpsons or something. And he's like, "Bro, you got to see this." And that's pulling up Michelle Obama man videos on YouTube. Because this is like 10 years ago, back when YouTube let you get away with anything. They had millions of views. Just millions of people believing this stuff.
No.
I thought you were thinking about dudes having gay thoughts, and you're like, oh yeah, Robbie. Sorry, Robbie.
I don't know what
why I
world you
had
live
that-
in, Ian.
That conflation.
You wake up in the morning, you go to the mirror, and you go, "I'm a
It's
beautiful."
not that weird to have gay thoughts. I think for a guy, it's not like you act on them.
Not if
like,
you're
what's
gay.
gay? Thinking gay stuff or doing gay stuff?
Both.
Well, come on. What's
Yeah,
more gay?
yeah.
There are things that are not. There are things that are not even sexual that are gay.
Go on.
Yeah, like so. Brian Shapiro's like, "Hey Tim, why don't we do the show together bald?" And I'm like, "That's very gay."
Huh?
Like, just that's
It's
a weird
cute.
thing to ask a guy. It's cute. That's
It's
a
like,
weird thing
why
to
don't we
ask
take
a
our
guy.
shirts off, Tim, and just play?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
That's
you could be a straight dude, being a straight guy, and you're like, "Hey, you know what, man? Like, I used to wrestle a lot. You want to wrestle with me?" It's like, that's very gay. No, I don't. It's like, I'm not saying you're literally trying to get like handsy with me.
I don't know if you
but
guys
it's
have ever.
pretty gay.
I went through phases where I smoked a lot of pot, and then
No.
I started
You're
like
kidding.
questioning my sexuality. Like I got hit on by a
this
lot
is
of
evidence that
what
weed
happened
makes
was-
you gay. Thank you.
I was in the
Thank you.
theater, and a lot of gay dudes were hitting on me. So when I would get really stoned, I'd be like, "Am I gay?" Or because they would tell me, "Ian, you're gay. You just don't realize it." And I'm like,
They were trying to
Gaslit.
groom you, bro.
They were literally grooming him.
That's what
grooming
it
you.
was.
Yeah,
But I felt
100%.
I was starting to question. I'm like, "Am I? I don't know."
That's how
So
grooming
What you're
works.
saying is a
They
bunch
gave
of
you
groomer
drugs.
predators were trying to rape
it was
you.
only
Yeah.
one guy in particular, but there
Was
were.
trying to rape you.
Even worse.
It was so gross, dude. It
Bro, he was
gross.
basically hitting on you. He was like, "Let's bang." You know what I mean?
Literally, blatantly hitting on me too at times. It was crazy. But so I dealt with that. So I understand like being confused about sexuality. Maybe Obama was, when he was writing those messages about like thinking about dudes, like, hey, he's just being honest.
True?
Look up the
Yeah, that is-
quote.
I'm pretty
you
sure it
you
is.
look up the quote.
Obama letter about banging dudes.
I want you to read this bombshell on air.
Do you have it?
I want you to read it. I want you to pull up and find.
Wait, what? Oh, he's gay.
Well, he.
Barack Obama told X, "I make love to men daily, but in the imagination." What?
Yeah, you know, it's
Not as
different.
gay as
That reminds me. Ever see
You can't
Dogma?
say that out loud because that will get clipped.
In Dogma, when the this is blasphemous to Seamus.
Yeah, I hate that.
The 13th apostle comes down, And then Jay is like, if you were really watching the dead, like, tell me something we don't know. And he's like, you masturbate more than any living person on the planet. He goes, tell me something we don't know. And then Chris Rock goes, when you do it, you're thinking about guys. And then Jay looks at Silent Bob and goes, not all the time. Here we go. The more than 40-year-old letter to an ex-girlfriend recently resurfaced after Obama biographer David Garrow gave a long and winding interview on the one-time commander-in-chief. Quote, in regard to homosexuality, I must say that I believe this is an attempt to remove oneself from the present, or a refusal perhaps to perpetuate the endless face of earthly life. You see, I make love to men daily, but in the imagination. Obama, then 21, wrote to Alex McNear in November of 1982. Is he saying that he just like imagines banging dudes? Like, is that literal?
Sounds like
is there
it.
That would
context
be the
missing?
most straightforward reading of the text.
Like you could make love, like friendship love with
I
someone.
don't think that's.
Wait, hold on. No, hold on.
now,
There's
Shane.
more.
That's the most
There's
Tobias
more.
Funke way of saying you want to be friends
There's
with another
more.
guy
There's
that I've
more.
never heard.
He said, my mind is androgynous to a great extent, but I hope to make it more so until I can think in terms of people, not women as opposed to men. But in returning to the body, I see that I have been made a man, and physically in life, I choose to accept that contingency.
So it sounds
Very
like
weird,
heavy
agnostic, and
psychedelic.
creepy.
Like if you're ever taking heavy psychedelics,
Bro, come on.
sexuality goes
There
away.
is-
It's like you're like this spirit
Why do
creature.
you always go?
I
on
think it's
drugs?
fair to say there's a non-zero chance Obama banged a guy, but I'd imagine it's actually closer to like 100.
Closer to like 51 plus.
Like that kind of language, it's like, how do you write that? And like, how does a guy think these things and not be like, well, I'll give it a shot?
Because if you're really tripping, like when he's like, when I come back to my body, it sounds like he was having like a out of body.
But you're reading that into the text. He doesn't say that.
Doesn't he say when I come back to my body and see I am a man, then things change again?
He says he accepts that.
But
he was
in
made a man.
returning to the body,
Yeah, he's
I
like
see
out
that I have
there.
been made a man, and physically in life, I choose to accept that contingency.
Yeah, so like
I think Obama is trans. I think he wants to be a lady. I think he's like, he wishes he was a woman, but he realizes that he can't, so he gave up.
but we've all felt
Live your
that at
dream,
some
bro.
point.
Obama, you can
What?
transition.
Like, haven't you ever fantasized about what would you do if you were a woman for a day?
No.
Come on.
I really haven't.
Never.
No.
Me neither.
I mean, I legit am like, I'm very comfortable with who I am. I like my life. I like living. Like,
Bro, you know what I fantasize about? You know what I dream about when I have lucid dreams? Any guesses?
Flying around your hometown.
Shooting lasers and blowing things up.
you know what I fantasize?
When I have lucid dreams, I'm immediately like, I'm dreaming. I start flying and I start just throwing fireballs. I'm just literally Naruto or Goku. It is the cringest of anime weeb garbage.
I have this
I
dream that I sit
fantasize
on
about having
Luffy
Tim's money.
throwing gum fists at people.
I dream
Ian-
about having this bouncy ball that I can squeeze with my legs to like elevate, and I fly on the thing, just constantly squeezing it together for motivation.
This might be surprising, but Ian doesn't do drugs.
Well, come on, I mean, that's a disputable. You know, I love the right dosage of all
Just like sit,
substances.
and
do
look
it.
in the mirror and
Listen to it at
imagine
home.
yourself as a woman. Like,
Only one time,
Doing
Tim.
women's-
It was in college. You know, we were all young once. It was my junior year of college. I was in a play, surrounded by beautiful people,
Silence of the Lambs over here.
with gay dudes telling me how hot I was. And my
like when
girlfriend
I-
at the time thought I was cute. I didn't really like feel like a gay guy thinking about how hot I was would be a hot chick. You know, I played women on stage and stuff. Once I played a girl on
so
stage.
that gay dude was like, "You're going to be the woman in this play,
Like how
and you're
often
gay."
do dudes play chicks in the plays. Was that just like a very common thing?
It was not very common. Although, yeah, we would have a girl play a guy. A girl played a guy in Life is a Dream. A girl played a guy in 12th Night that I did. We had a show called Roxy and the Foxy Din where I played a woman at Sacred Fools Theater in Los Angeles. So it was, you'd get like 1 out of every 10 plays. You'd get someone playing a different
Bro,
sex.
that clip where Ian says to Phil, like, "Don't you ever think about what it's like to be a woman?" He's like, "No," and then Ian's like, "Neither do I."
Yeah, that'd be weird, dude.
Neither do I. Yeah, okay, bro.
No, yeah, that'd be wild, Carter. I wouldn't touch that conversation.
It's actually the other way
Yeah.
around. What didn't Freud say that women wish they had dongs?
Yeah, I used to think like
Freud
if I
did
had
say that.
boobs.
Freud was obsessed with penises.
Yeah, Freud. Yes, Freud said a lot of things.
You think he was on the right path? On the right track?
No, I think Freud had some problems.
Like it's
Well, I mean, bro, to be honest, some women are so obsessed and they get the skin cut off
Oh
their
man,
arms
I can't
Like,
even think about it.
There's this
in
there's
fashion
this-
and then sewn to their bodies. That's crazy.
You know those survival games where like they throw a bunch of people onto an island or whatever, and they have to like they're like game shows or whatever. Whoever wins gets like $1 million or whatever. Me and Sarah were watching one, and all of the women have a chip on their shoulders because they're women, and they're like, well, we want to show we're strong as the guys. We want to blah blah blah.
And the guys don't care.
The guys do not care. The guys never think about it. There legitimately is some kind of thing in women where they're like, I want to be as strong as a man.
But it's true.
There's truth in usurpation. No, it's part of the fall. Because Eve tried to usurp Adam as the head of the household. That is a problem women deal with as a product of original sin. Men and women deal with different problems. We're all flawed because of our sinfulness.
Systemically, men don't try to be women. Systemically, women do try to be men. For example,
Men try to be children and women try to be men when they're not functioning properly.
Well-
a man will act like a child and a woman will try to act like a man. It's
yeah,
true.
but I think at the large scale, what we're finding in trends that guys want to have families. We found polling data. We have polling data that shows men want kids more than women do. Women want to be men in that if there's like a group of women hanging around and then a woman talks about like doing her makeup and then jokes that a man can't do makeup, do you think that guy's going to be like, I can do anything I
I
want?
will not be confined by your norms. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's gonna be like,
I
I
was
don't-
saying
yeah,
earlier,
any
like we're
cost.
just as strong as men. A group of guys aren't like, we are just as communicative as women.
But the other way around, a bunch of guys could be hanging out and they can say, well, you're a girl. You know, you're never going to be as good as a guy at, football. She's going to go, oh, women can do it. You can't. What is this?
Yeah,
no
women-
guy's going to be like, I can give birth if I want to. Some crazy ones, maybe.
Again, I'm going to relate a story with me and my girlfriend. We were both standing by the sink, right? And I'm like using the hose that comes down to rinse off something. And I just turn it and like squirt her a little bit. She grabs my hand. She's trying to get it. And I'm just chuckling and she cannot move it. She's trying to get. Women just aren't as strong as men generally. Generally, well, we chase. I bought a cool squirt gun. She gets me all the time.
No, I'm giving you a hard time. I'm messing with you.
Well, I know that the chat's gonna be like,
True.
oh, blah blah blah. But like, it's like we have fun. But it's like when it comes to like when like she tries to like she'll try and stick her finger in my mouth when I'm yawning to mess up my yawn. I'll grab her hand and then she, it's like women just aren't as strong as men generally.
Bro, I open pickle jars on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Dude, hey, I jam my fingers. Don't take your pickle
Easy,
opening jar
easy.
for granted.
No disrespect to my family, but like, I'll be handed a jar and it'll just be like, I'm like,
Yeah.
that was remarkable.
Well, I caught a football is what I meant, and I jammed my fingers. Dude, I have a hard time doing that for 3 weeks.
Was that when you were fantasizing about being a woman and needing a man to open a
It
pickle
was
jar
out
for
here.
you?
No, I was deep in the moment, but I think I tried to go for a ball. I didn't want to smash my head into the skate ramp, so I kind of half-assed it. Just don't take your grip strength for granted.
We have a giant like rubber pregnancy belly for some reason. You could wear it.
It's for empathy. Not some reason. It's so men can understand. But that's the thing, right? That is a perfect example of what we're talking about. No man is like, I am going to wear the empathy pregnancy belly to show that a man can do it.
Like I want.
Did you see that they have the they sell these electrodes that you put on your your abdomen or just below your abs, and then when the wife goes into labor, they shock you so that you feel the pain with her.
Oh God.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, why?
That's
would they,
stupid.
Why would you ever?
Because there's
no
dumb
point.
guys that are
It's
like,
just
I
some
can-
woman who hates her husband. That's literally it. She just hates that she's not a man, that he is a man, whatever it is. She wants to punish him.
But also, like,
Freaky.
you're injuring yourself doing it, like actually causing real damage to your body. Like the wife is just giving birth.
And you should be like.
True, that's a fair point. Also, like her body is doing something, and you're just causing yourself pain for no reason.
Yeah,
You're supposed to be there to like help alleviate her pain. by not
Exactly.
being in pain.
Yeah.
Right, and watching for threats in the old days, you standing guard as
Yeah.
she's giving birth, basically.
That's right.
Doctors.
Yeah, they actually. I was reading about why evolutionary biology theories as to why human birth is so painful for humans, and it was that it increased survival rates because the screaming and agony attracts other people to stand around.
Oh wow,
Yeah, it's kind of
that
wild.
is fascinating.
That sucks, doesn't it?
Interesting idea,
That's
yeah.
for women.
So you think women desire males the strength of a man just so that they can defend themselves in life, but
no,
women
I don't know.
really have anything.
I don't know why it is, but like women sitting around talking about womanly things, guys aren't like some guys maybe, but it's generally not true. But if you look at society, women want to take masculine roles on, and they demand of it.
Like with women, I want to understand women. I want to be able.
Women don't understand women.
Oh man, it's got to be. There's one day. I promise you, it will happen. One day.
Well, do you understand why we're investing so much in AI? The whole goal of all of the AI companies is just to finally figure out women. All these guys are like, we're going to do it. We're going to map their brains out. The AI comes back and it's like, I can't do it.
I mean, there's a joke. There's a joke like, women don't even understand themselves. And you talk to a lot of women, and again, this is not, don't freak out. I'm not saying it's every woman, so don't take it personally. But you talk to a lot of women, and they'll tell you, look, my hormones change throughout the month because of the fact that I can have babies. One day something will upset me. The week later it won't. That's totally normal. Like my girlfriend said to me the other day, she was like, the past couple days I was feeling really emotional. And I'm like, I know. But like, and it's like, it's not.
You're like, I noticed that. Actually, you made it clear.
And like, look, I don't want her to change one bit. I love her.
Of course.
She's a woman. That's what I love. It's one of the things I love about it. It can be, but she doesn't understand it any more than I do. It's nothing. There's nothing wrong with her. It's not bad. It's just that this is what women are, and you have to take women for what they are. Expecting women to be other things is a terrible idea. If you're talking to another dude and you expect him to respond like a woman, you're going to be the one that's wrong. Guys are going to respond like guys generally.
I just want to make a point about this. I just got to piggyback off this. You're totally right. And the irony is the people who complain about sexism and misogyny are the ones trying to tell everyone that men and women are exactly the same. But nothing will make you hate the opposite sex faster than expecting them to act like you. If you think
100%.
that when your girl is really emotional, it's actually because she's a broken version of you instead of no, she's a woman and that's
wrong.
normal for a woman. Similarly, if a woman thinks like, well, he's like a broken version of me, he didn't ask me how my day was or notice this, that, or the other because he's mean instead of he's a man and his brain works differently, it's going to create a lot of animosity.
This is really uncomplimentary the way that it sounds, but it's not intended to be. It's just to illustrate a point. If you're dealing with an animal, right? You're dealing with a dog, and then you tell the dog to do dishes, and then the dog doesn't do dishes, and you get pissed at the dog, you're the moron.
Exactly.
A dog cannot do dishes.
Exactly.
Like, if you tell a dog to write a poem, you're the idiot. The dog's not the idiot. You're the idiot because the dog can't do that. Expecting things or people to do things that they can't do or to be different than their nature, you're the one that's wrong, not the person that's acting according to their nature.
What he's saying is your husband can't do the dishes because he's got that dog in him.
That's a good way to look at life. Hey, I heard that women have 4 phases through the month, like the ovulation phase, the luteal
Like a werewolf.
Like a werewolf, and that every phase they have swings of emotions every week. It's like every week is different all month, and then but men experience that same cycle in a day. What women go through in 1 month, men go through in 1 day. They have their early morning phase, their sexual aggression, then they're emotional, then they're tired, then they're hungry. Like women have that weeks at a time. This is what I've heard. It's pretty cool.
Again, I want to reiterate, nothing that I said is meant to be disparaging. It was only trying to illustrate a point. Women are women, and I don't want women to not be women.
Of course.
I want women to be women. I want them to be exactly like they are. But it is true that men and women are different. My girlfriend does that. She says it to me all the time. Like, I'll say something, I'll be like, whatever, and she'll be like, well, men and women are different, and she'll be like.
The female hormone cycle is throughout the month. The men's is throughout the day.
Wow.
Testosterone, cortisol fluctuates throughout the day. But women have, because of ovulation, they have hormonal,
that would mean when you get your horny phase in the day, depends on what time of month it is for her, if it's okay, like you got to wait till like 4 p.m. or 10 a.m. depending on what week it is in the month.
Imagine being like a horse or something. Isn't horses like just like once a year?
Listen,
or something
it's
like that?
also like regardless whether you're coming at it from a religious perspective, the correct perspective, or a scientific perspective, or both, the idea that there would be 2 different kinds of people that play 2 very distinct roles in procreation and child rearing, and they would both be exactly the same is a very stupid idea. There's actually no reason to believe that other than I wish
3
it
or
was
4
true.
or 5, right?
Yeah.
And I think you could even argue that children are different than men and women. Like their brains just.
Yes, they haven't developed yet. Yeah, they're still
like,
children. Like their brains, their prefrontal cortex.
Do you guys remember when you stopped crying?
I still haven't.
Like 20 minutes ago.
When I was a little kid,
I do remember a
last
moment
week, it
as a
was
kid
nice.
where I like scraped myself. I was like, I'm just not going to cry this time.
It turned from crying into anger. When I was a little kid, like I'd get hurt, I'd cry. Excuse me. I remember watching Futurama. Fry drank the liquid emperor. Is this whole thing? and he's got to cry him out. So they hit him to make him cry. And I was kind of confused by that because I was like, pain doesn't make me cry. Like, and then I was thinking about when I was a little kid, it did. And then at some point, it made me angry instead. Now I get mad. So if like I'm skateboarding and the board whacks my shin, it's like I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
But the other thing I was thinking too is I think it has to do with survival. I was on a plane from Wellington to Auckland in New Zealand, and the winds were like 100 kilometers, some insane number. And the plane dropped probably like 500 feet.
Yeah.
And I was just weightless for like a split second. All I heard was every woman on the plane scream.
Yeah.
Okay, now ladies, calm down. You're right. Some women may not have been screaming, but I'm saying, generally speaking, it was just all women screaming. The guys weren't saying nothing. And I thought about it. Exactly. And I looked it up and I looked into it. Why do women and children cry? Why do men not cry? Why do women and children scream, even little boys, but why do men not scream? Evolutionary psychology was if a man encounters a predator or a threat, screaming likely will not help him. It will either attract more predators, he will die. It could also attract other people to come and die depending on the threat. Men will just call for help. Why don't men cry? Why? And so a woman who is, collecting berries and encounters a bear screams instinctively. The men hear and the men come running to try and save her. Children cry when they're hurt, alerting adults around them to come and help them because they're hurt. Yeah. Women cry similarly because it attracts men to come and help them when they're crying. Then you get
and to win arguments.
Exactly. But I was going to say, then you get the Black Widow women who crocodile tears to trick men and manipulate them, and
It gets deeper.
But that's why guys don't scream.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's also distraction.
There's another really interesting phenomenon too, is that I was reading this thing about marketing, and it was a story where an ad agency said they needed it was like a toothbrush commercial or ad they were doing in a magazine. So they're like, we need a picture of a man's mouth for like this whitening thing. The guy sent him a picture, and it was just a mouth. And the agent goes, or the marketing guy's like, I said man's mouth. And he goes, it's just a mouth. How can you tell? And he's like, this is a woman's mouth. It's like, how do you know? Women show their upper teeth, men don't. Which is really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is really interesting because I've been watching this a lot lately with libs. And I wonder if it's a testosterone thing because there are a lot of lib guys that when they talk, you can see their teeth.
Really?
Yeah.
George Washington did a book on etiquette. One of the things he talked about was keeping your face still while you're talking to establish dominance in a conversation. Flat eyebrows, probably not showing your teeth because
they're made of wood.
It makes you seem aggressive like a predator and might scare people. So you want to put people at ease.
But when you're talking to a dog and you're trying to assert dominance, you want to show your teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. If you want to
make yourself look bigger. Speaking of that, for no reason, I saw a black bear.
When?
Really?
Oh, yeah. I saw the picture or the video.
Yeah, I was driving into Charlestown, and I was like maybe not even a quarter mile outside the city, and there was a full-grown giant black bear that was probably like 8 feet tall standing up, just standing on the side of the road, and I was like, holy crap. So I pulled over, I started filming him, and he just ran towards the city. And then I was like, I wonder if I should call that in, like a bear is running straight towards the city. So I called the non-emergency police, and they were closed. It was, I think it was Sunday, Saturday or Sunday. They were closed. I was like, okay. So I looked it up, like, should I call the Charlestown police because I saw a bear running toward the city? And it said no. It said, extremely common, nobody cares, it's a waste of time, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I guess. But then everyone I told freaked out. Yeah, like I'm in the city, I'm at a bar, I'm like, I saw a bear. I'm like, what, where?
Was lying to you, yeah.
And I'm like, it was running into the city. Like, it was? And I was like, yeah, it was huge too. It was like 8 feet, probably like 500 pounds or something bigger. Like, I don't know.
It literally destroyed the city. You did nothing. You did nothing to stop it.
I did nothing. I was like, I don't know, man. No one ever gave me bear instructions. You know what I mean?
Just try to avoid
Should
it.
I fight it?
If they got little ones, stay as far away as you
gosh.
can.
Nah, it's just one bear dude running.
Probably hungry.
Running fast too.
I think I probably related this before, but I moved to New Hampshire in 2011. I bought my house in 2013, and I just saw my first bear in New Hampshire like last year.
Wow.
Yeah, like just never saw one. Never like they do avoid people generally. They like black bears don't like to be around people. They'll get into your garbage or whatever, but they'll scoot if they see you. So, anyways,
I was thinking about it watching it. I'm like, he must have a good life. You know what I mean?
The bear?
Yeah.
Why'd you think that?
He runs real fast. He's massive. Everyone's scared of him, and he can just go through your garbage and eat your refuse.
Yep.
Imagine how many discarded.
You could
pizza
do that
boxes.
if you wanted. You could just go through people.
Yeah, but you get arrested.
Yeah, you would.
You have to get a little black mask though.
The bear, they'll just shoo off, and you'll like,
Exactly.
like imagine being a bear and like just going to the dumpster behind a pizza place, and you're gonna find a bunch of pizza.
Did you ever think
That's
about
the
getting
life,
like
bro.
a
But they
bear
don't know
cub?
that. That's the tragedy of it.
It is
They have
the
the
tragedy.
ability, but they don't actually know.
Seamus, if you got a bear cub and you raised it, would you have the confidence that it'd be cool?
Oh, dude, they would be super cool, but I would keep it nowhere near me because it would probably kill me and everyone.
So you'd be afraid of it?
100%, yeah, bro. A bear cub.
Well, how,
You
like,
can't just. It's not like a nature versus nurture thing. Like bears aren't the way they are because of cultural factors. Like, I'm not,
because
that thing will-
socioeconomic
Yeah, exactly.
Socioeconomic factors resulted in
made the
the-
bear. Yeah, no.
what about a tiger?
To be fair,
I similarly-
No, wait. To be fair, the bear running toward the city was likely hungry and was being driven by his socioeconomic factors.
True.
Yeah,
I never
they're,
thought.
they're mammals.
And if he had a big stack of steaks, he'd be going nowhere.
Yeah.
He'd be sitting right there eating them, and then he'd only defend his property if you came towards him.
Dude, yeah, tigers similarly, absolutely not. There are these people who will raise animals like tigers, and then when they bite them, they can't believe it.
Part of
It's
me,
the leopards
Why
ate my
did you
face
do
thing.
that?
I mean, like, look, your cat, like your tabby, will just jump on your leg and bite you for no reason.
Yeah.
When a tiger does that, that's it. Lights out. Over.
Yeah,
Game
you're
over.
I got a Maine
You're on
Coon
for
that
the
I still
tiger,
got
'cause I'll fight
scratches
back.
from.
You got to wear them out. Jackson Galaxy's the cat whisperer. Watch
How do
my
you
cat
wear
from
out a
hell.
400-pound cat?
You got to play with a string with it.
A string?
Maybe a big rope. I don't
Probably
know.
a rope.
Yeah, a rope.
hose,
Okay.
perhaps.
Get them to wear themselves out. Because what it does is it simulates the hunt. Every cat needs this every day. They need to simulate the hunt, wear themselves out, and then simulate the kill by getting fed afterwards is basically how you keep your cat.
I was reading that cats don't drink water near their food because cats in the wild, the water near the dead animal is contaminated. So they'll find water somewhere else. So you got to keep the food and the water in separate areas. Yeah. So I was reading that if you put their food and water next to each other, they'll only drink water if they're desperately thirsty because it's like an instinct thing. So if you keep them on this side of the room, the cat will be hydrated.
And they do like running water, I've noticed, relative to stagnant water. Those fountains just do wonders for your cat's health.
That's why everybody does it because they want flowing water where it's clean.
Yeah. Nice stainless steel. I'm kind of with you, Seamus. Like the big animals, it's just inherently I'm scared of them because they're big.
100%.
Just because if they don't realize swatting at you for fun might actually cut your throat. You're kind of like,
Or just one day they decide they're done with you.
Well, that's
Like
exactly
that guy
right.
who lived with the bears, and then the bears one day were like, I'm going to eat him. And they did.
that story.
Humans have
He's like,
no
wait,
humility in the face of nature anymore.
What was
Wait, so the it's the guy and his girlfriend lived with grizzly bears.
Yeah.
They lived with grizzly bears, and the bears just tolerated that. Like, they didn't care. And then one day the bears were hungry, and they're like, all right,
Yeah, they warned him.
I'm going to eat this now.
Don't go out there during this season. They're like, no, we think we know these bears. They're friends with us. We can do it.
But it's funny because,
Didn't they
like,
play audio from it in
Yes.
the documentary.
He's, like,
yeah,
Werner Herzog
really
directed
brutal,
it
man.
and was like, you don't want to listen to this to his mother. The guy's mother is like, you don't want to hear it.
the bear just ate him.
You hear him screaming. It
Oh,
starts ripping his,
dude,
I don't know what's
yeah,
But it's
that's
like
horrible,
cows.
But
Like, think about being a cow, right?
bad idea.
You walk around all day. You just eat. You do nothing. And we drive past cows all the time. You know what the cows are doing when you drive past them? Literally just standing.
Yep.
They're doing nothing. They're not eating. They're just standing there. And I'm like, why aren't they doing anything? And then I asked somebody who had cows, and he's like, what would they do? And I'm like, I don't know, run around or something. He's like, but why? And I'm like, okay. But, you know, we have this little spring stream down over here where every spring the water's flowing like crazy. And it is pretty based because you'll see like a cow mom with her cow baby, and they're like standing in the spring water drinking. And that's pretty epic.
That is pretty
But anyway, like, imagine being a cow. You're just like, hey, man, life is good. These like little elf things come and just like feed me and keep me safe. And then one day we just put this thing in their head and go, dum, and then they're just gone.
They have no idea.
And they have no idea what's going on. That's what that guy was doing in the bear cave. The bears were like, we keep him around because we're going to eat him when we need to.
Yep.
Don't need to eat him yet.
And fact check, apparently cow tipping is real.
What?
But what happens is the cows will be like chilling and then they'll sneak up on it and hit it and scare it. So as it starts to run forward, it's off balance and it falls over. This is what
We should
professional
watch
cow tippers.
we'll watch the Grizzly Man thing for the uncensored.
Grizzly Man is crazy.
I've still never seen it. I've only heard about it.
And the cap was on the camera for that part where they're getting eaten, especially when the guy's getting eaten and you just hear him screaming.
Good. It's better that way.
Like he's crying.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you know, when you're eating another animal and it's crying, we don't care. We're not going like, oh, this.
Eat it raw. if someone was just like eating a squirrel in front of you, and it's like screaming. You
can hear
Like, well,
mushrooms.
this is nature.
I'm talking about when we
Just
throw
nature.
lobsters in the water and like,
yeah, mushrooms will
What if
scream
somebody
too.
just?
and when
what
you,
if someone
they
picked
take the
up a
hog and they
lobster?
slit its throat? And goes,
What if you were at Red
we're not
Lobster?
going like,
in the waiting area, and someone just dipped their hand in the tank, pulled the lobster out, and just started eating it alive.
Just
and
cracked
it's
it.
screaming in front of you.
I was sauteing a mushroom, and it like, okay, hot gas escapes from the mushroom. It goes,
The mushroom
but it
screamed.
sounded like it was screaming, really sounded like it was screaming, which was very disturbing because it's not a plant. You know, fungus is its own kind of life form. I think we're derived from fungus. I think what happened is there was plant matter on the planet.
What are we talking about?
Ian's got an
Screaming animals,
imagination.
screaming mushrooms, animals that scream while you eat them, life forms that scream while you eat them. Plants feel pain as well. But the mushroom, I think what happened was spores hit the earth. Some spores ate plants. They became mushrooms. They continued on. But some spores started eating other spores and they became animals. That's a theory of mine. I don't know if it's true or not. So
Yeah, I think that's made up.
I did make it up, but I don't know if it's true or not. It might be real.
No, it
Like,
probably
where else
isn't.
did animals come from? Doesn't
A lot of things might be real.
That's true. Like we might be.
What do you mean? Where did
amoebas, you know?
animals come from?
Like why did they develop? What caused the animal to differentiate? Maybe there's chemists out there, like you know.
Seamus knows the answer.
That's right.
Where did humans
They were
come
created that way.
from? What way?
They were created that way.
Just with big old
That's
fingers and
Okay, so I want you to imagine God is sitting at a computer and he goes to the left and he types in like weight 1 kilogram, flight equals yes, and beak equals 3 millimeters, and then he drags it and he clicks it and it appears there.
So we were talking about reincarnation yesterday, and I want to get your guys' take on it. So I go to the spirit realm, and it seems like time stops.
Really?
Yeah. You can see all of space-time as like a flat plane, and you can be like, I want to go there. I want to
He's
be
just
born
talking
as...
to demons, bro.
And you can go to any time in reality and be like, I want to go to 1417 and be John Smith. And you become born as that guy. There's like opportunities to be born anytime,
You
anywhere.
chose this?
Yeah, you
Why?
picked this
Why
life.
would anyone choose
Also-
all of the miserable lives that have people
That's
that have
such a
suffered?
good point. No, you're so right because they have done studies that show people who are affluent living in safe societies are the most likely to believe in reincarnation because historically people were not like, yes, I would like to be born as a different person.
Maybe
I would love to be born in like rural India.
Maybe some people don't have their PC goggles on when they go up there. They're in an NPC state when they're in the spirit realm and they get put into another spot.
I
Maybe
disagree.
I'll be
I disagree
born
with you,
during the
Seamus,
Black
though.
Plague.
I disagree. I played Oregon Trail the other day.
True.
And you can choose to be a banker, a carpenter, or a farmer. So, like, why would anyone possibly choose to be the farmer? It's so hard. You have no money. You can barely survive. It's fun.
Because you don't actually feel the pain of the farming when you play Oregon Trail.
It's true.
The
As
pain
a
of
spirit.
dying of dysentery.
It might be as a spirit. You're like, I've never died in childbirth before.
Phil died.
Maybe I can try this
when I
one.
played.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what happened?
He died in like 3 days.
Did you ever able to retro?
Didn't say it was pretty nuts because I was playing on easy. I was playing banker, and you start with a ton of money. So I bought a ton. I bought like 400 tons of food, just an insane amount of food. And then like literally on day 3, it's like Phil has died, and I was like, what happened?
You were like spamming.
How does that
go, go,
happen?
go.
Like we barely even left Independence.
Yeah, like we didn't even get to the trail.
It was literally like 2 days. I was like, let's go, and then it was like Phil has died, and I was like, what?
The other question about reincarnation is how does it contend with population increases and decreases? Do a bunch of souls just not get born during?
Well, no.
Maybe
no.
they combine.
If there's,
I have an answer for you.
yeah, I mean, here.
You ever notice, how when you're driving on the highway, there's no more bugs splattering on the windshield?
Yeah. so
the bugs are
one
come-
species goes extinct is
They
another
come back
one's
as people.
population.
That would explain a lot, to be
That's
honest.
what the Hindus believe, right? You can come back as a bug if you have.
Yeah, but that means
They
the
believe
bugs come back as
Come back
people
a lot
too.
of different things.
And
yeah.
other life forms on other planets that we don't know about. Maybe they'll choose those instead.
We call those God's side projects.
Or maybe spirits can like form into a bunch of spirits can come together into one spirit and then embody someone, and they can split into a bunch of different spirits and embody a bunch of people.
You've got an active
I
imagination.
rebuke.
Yeah, dude.
But the scary thing is he doesn't think it's an imagination.
I played a lot of video games, homie.
Like when Seamus isn't talking, he's definitely praying on the show.
That is the highest compliment anyone's ever given me. I wish that was true.
But you know what it is,
Lord,
guys?
please.
Ian's not going to the spirit realm. He's in a cave where there's a fire and there's shadows on the wall, and it's demons doing shadow puppetry for Ian, and he's like, wow. And then he comes and tells everybody what the demons showed him.
That might be true. They may be projections of another thing. But I think I can't tell when I was in the spirit realm.
shadows.
Was it? You think they're
just
shadows?
shadows.
When I was there in that spirit realm, which is here, but it's at perceiving a higher frequency, is what it seemed to be. I can't tell if they were because they saw me and they were like, he can see us. They were freaking out. I couldn't tell if I was in spirit form for them or if they saw me, Ian Cross, somebody looking at them.
Probably
I don't.
just on drugs.
Well, that was true.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it was DMT.
Yeah.
But it was isn't really a drug. Drug means
Is it
dried
really-
herb.
is it really a
The word
drug?
drug comes from French drueg, meaning dried herb. So that's kind of a vague phrase. But the DMT your body produces it, just kicking it on overdrive. That it doesn't feel like a drug. I would not call it. I mean, classically, science is classified, I think, as a drug for whatever reason, but.
Well,
compared
because
to the
it
other psychedelics-
separates you from reality. I mean, you could deconstruct literally any drug to base atoms that also exist in your body, right?
Molecules, yeah.
But the point is, it actually changes your conscious state.
Well, the DMT, your body is producing literally that same dimethyltryptamine.
No, I know.
In low dose.
But it's still a chemical compound that interacts with your brain.
But it's not producing like psilocybin. Your body's not producing psilocybin. If you took a mushroom, that would be external only. DMT is like
But it's still a chemical that interacts with your brain.
for sure, and it's wild, dude. It is wild. It's not even wild. It was the most normal experience. I came back to this perception. I was like, that felt more real than
It's
this.
wild. It's wild. It's not even wild.
That's actually what a lot of people say. They say that when they do DMT, it feels like whatever they were experiencing was more real than real life.
Scary, man.
Yeah, it's actually. I mean, it depends. You can choose when you go into it. Do I want to be afraid of this experience, and then you're going to see demons, or you can not be in love, and it's like they're very benevolent.
But I mean, after the fact, feeling like reality isn't real.
scary.
That's the scary part.
Because I was like, I don't think I need to do this anymore. I was telling my friend, she's
Yeah,
like,
dude, that's
"Actually,
terrifying. That's why you got to stay away from that stuff,
You
bro.
do. You need a friend that's going to remind you, you're Seamus Coughlin, you're a comedian, you make cartoons. Remember, you're an important part of this reality, and we need you here. Like, she told me that about myself. Not that I'm Seamus, which would have been cool.
She didn't want that would be crazy.
like, "You're Ian Crossland,
and
you're
you're
a
like, so when I
political
met you,
commentator."
it was insane because
But it did make me feel like I think I've done enough here. Heaven is wonderful. Like, it's okay to go there and be there. Like, it's totally love, like, just immense.
Yeah, but
warmth.
Seamus, I knew somebody once who told me this. She was a Catholic, that she couldn't wait to die, because then she would be in heaven with God's love and embrace. So she was really excited to die, and I'm like, that's kind of a scary thought.
I mean, people come at it from different angles. If you're a saint who is very holy and you suffer well, you can get to that point. I think sometimes people say, I can't wait to die and get to heaven as a piety, which is a nice thing, but maybe sometimes they haven't really thought about it that much, because if they actually got told tomorrow you're about to die, they might feel a little bit differently, but maybe not. Maybe she was a very holy person and that was really her perspective.
Oh wait, now that
But yeah,
Ian's
ideally
here,
you should want to go to heaven.
now that's Ian's here, we had this debate before.
Oh boy.
Where I said that if everybody on Earth had the same moral worldview as Seamus Coughlin, you wouldn't need armies or police officers.
That's very kind. That's very kind of you to say,
and
but I don't know about that.
You need civil
Thank
courts.
you. I said the same thing.
You would need civil courts. But I don't see any possible reality where you rob a store, steal someone's wallet,
That's kind
kill
of
somebody.
I hope not.
Well, what if you were starving?
But there, for the grace of God, go I, man. People do bad things,
like,
and
maybe I'll
I'm
murder
blessed,
somebody.
and we're all
Seamus stealing my
There
spoons,
is
but that Seamus
I said
is
this to
totally
Ian.
cool.
There is a 0% chance, that Seamus murder somebody.
I only disagree because
Ian was like, Seamus would
because
kill
Seamus
somebody.
did.
Badass murder.
No. Kill is not murder.
That's right. It's
That's
all
a-
sanctioned, Seamus.
True.
They sent like 90 million Seamuses to battle. But I think that the sociological circumstances can drive one to insanity, make them more animalistic. If you were starving, that Seamus was starving, he might attack another Seamus, and you'll be like,
Nope.
Even though they believed the same thing at one point, he's hungry now, and unless you
Nope.
give him food, he's going to change.
You'd have perfect communism. If everybody, like, let's say like a genie appears before Seamus and he's like, I will give you one wish, sir. You can have one wish,
Why does he
please.
talk like that?
Because he's
He's
from,
from
South
India.
Asia. What are you talking about?
That's
Why-
a good point. That's easy.
And you're like, I wish everybody in the world had the moral clarity that I did.
Can you imagine what?
And
And
then-
the genie would be like, first of all, you. That is the worst thing I've ever
He's
heard.
like, your wish is my command. And he snaps his finger. Everyone turns into Seamus.
Great Seamus.
And like, but just for the sake of it, it's a horrifically painful transformation. They're like,
Pieces of you are torn asunder.
but once it's over, everyone is Seamus, and they're like, this is not so bad. If there was a starving Seamus is a hardworking guy. You would not get a lazy, homeless, derelict Seamus.
maybe you would. I don't know, man.
You would not. You would not. You would get a Seamus going to the church and saying, I have tried, I have fallen on hard times, and I seek relief. And they would say, we will help you, and we have work for you. And he'd say, thank you. And he'd work.
What if one of the Seamuses slipped and fell and bumped into another guy, accidentally elbowing him and breaking his cheekbone? Now you've got a problem.
A heck of a
No, you don't.
fall.
It was an accident.
Bro.
I didn't mean to.
Like, I am not saying this to act like Seamus is the perfect human or anything. I'm saying Seamus is not an overly aggressive, murderous, criminal person. I'm sure Seamus has bumped into people before, and Seamus has anyone ever bumped into you?
That's never happened.
And you're like, I'll kill you.
So, question, Seamus, what's the truth? What do you think?
Well, I take Augustine's line. Anything good in me is from God. The rest is my fault.
Meaning you're flawed.
Yeah, I'm a
incapable
flawed
of
person.
horror.
I'm a messed up person. I'm not like, you know.
But do you
we're
think
all
that a
sinful, we're all
unified
broken.
worldview-
If
But
I do good things, it's because God gave me.
But I will say this again. I use Seamus as an example.
Yeah.
I could say the same of Phil.
Right. If everyone had a unified, benevolent worldview.
Because Phil minds his business, he does his own work, he takes care of himself. If Phil bumped into himself and got upset, I'm sure that they'd be like, chill, it's not worth it. Sorry, bro.
I only
don't
can-
think Phil's going to just beat the crap out of a guy for bumping into him.
only when they run out of food. If one of the Phils ran out of food, you better believe he'd get in his rifle and going to hunt some other animal, and humans are animals. So,
Maybe Phil.
I mean, hopefully Seamus wouldn't just lay around and starve.
But
He'd go out and
my
source
point
it.
is not to single anybody individual out. I'm saying if the conflicts that we see are because people are not connected, you tend to see among small communities less crime amongst each other, but it does
True.
exist.
That's true.
And especially among religious groups, you like sending 90,000 Seamuses to fight. Yeah, who are they fighting? If everybody in the
Seamuses,
world,
obviously.
yeah, if everybody in the world had the same, like if everybody in the world was a legitimately devout Catholic, you wouldn't need a war. You wouldn't need armies. People would be like, well, the Lord wants us to do this. We're going to work together.
It would build towards a much more unified planet, but I think you would still need police for outlying circumstances of poverty and things that might arise. And charity would be huge, but when you
I disagree.
It expands so great, it's like you're almost not supposed to worry about what the guy
No.
6 miles away is doing.
You take a look at certain neighborhoods with poverty. West Virginia is a really great example, a very impoverished state, and it has lower than average crime. Lower than average. So poverty is not the issue. You can take a look at areas of Chicago that are wealthier than West Virginia with higher rates of crime.
Well, this is something Sean, Actual Justice Warrior on YouTube, talks about, which is that when it comes to crime and how you prevent people from committing the crime, the way he laid it out, and this was years ago when we talked about
hit
it,
him.
but he said there's 3 layers, and one is a gavel. No, but he said there's 3 layers to it, and the least effective is the punishment, because a lot of people think they won't get caught, and he's not some guy who's arguing we shouldn't punish people, by the way. That's not the line of reasoning he's coming from. The second most effective is that they will be ostracized. Other people will have issues with them if they engage in this behavior. But the most effective way to get someone to not do something is to get them to actually believe that it's wrong, right? And so by the time you get to the crime being committed and sentencing people, you've already failed on 2 levels. They didn't internalize those values, and then the people around them didn't shame them when they acted on their misaligned morality. So ultimately, I think the argument you're making demonstrates that, or the statistics you brought up demonstrate that, which is that even though people are poorer here, if they A, personally believe X, Y, and Z are wrong, they're less likely to do it. B, if people around them will ostracize them, look at them differently, and shame them for doing it, they're less likely to do it. And then if all of those other things fail, yeah, you have criminal punishment.
And this is why, at the founding of this country, police did not exist.
Ooh, that's interesting.
There weren't. We did not have police.
Do you know
And
when
militia.
they showed up in the U.S.? Police?
I think it was the 1800s, and I believe it originated in France. We actually covered it on the show a while back.
Like I know they had sheriffs out west in the mid 1800s. You know, the lawman, and it'd be like one guy, and then he'd deputize a dude and be like, "Help me out here, bro."
Yep. You'd have a sheriff, and he could deputize people to help him, but it's like one guy was elected. The first police department, I'm asking our friends on the internet, 1798 London was the first police force, the first modern police force. There you go. The actual, okay. This was the Marine Police Force in London, 1798, but it was employed salaried officers focused on crime prevention. However, the first modern police force was 1829, the Metro in London. However, they did have constables, watchmen, night watches, sheriffs, and things like that. But it was very, very different. Back in the day, we didn't even have like courts in the same way. I mean, people got strung up all the time.
Yeah.
The mob would just kill you.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, in a way, it's like were the police formed to prevent mob slaughter, or were they created to prevent crime itself?
Well, no, it's an interesting concept actually, because historically we look at these very barbaric penalties you'd see, especially in the ancient world and the medieval world, where you steal this and they'll execute you or cut your arm off or something like that. And people go, oh, they were so backwards. Didn't they know that that offense wasn't so horrible as to warrant death? But the reason they did it wasn't necessarily because they thought it warranted death. It was because they couldn't have people doing it, and they were not wealthy and developed enough as a society to house criminals somewhere and give them 3 square meals a day. So the only way you could remove those people from society was with the death penalty.
I think it was like 1 or 2% of all of Europe was killed like every year.
Something, yeah. I think in England there was like 1% of people that were hung during a period of time.
And you're taking all the people that are likely to commit crime, and you're just like culling them from society.
And they did not make the history books. A lot of that probably was like, let's just not really tell people how much. Dude, I brought up the oubliette the other day. I want to clarify where you would throw people down.
Bro, it's pretty wild.
The
In
oubliette?
1750 in New York, it was just civilian arrest. It was citizen arrest.
So like someone would accuse someone else of a crime, and a mob would get together.
That's
and
crazy.
go after them.
They had night watch.
It was after the American Revolution.
Just like night watchmen would walk around, and if they saw something, but there was like, I guess it's pretty crazy.
The oubliette was a dungeon. It was like
They had a
hole.
county sheriff who would manage jails and organize posses. That's wild. He'd literally be like, all right, boys, I got to go track down some guy who stole a horse. Let's roll. And
Let's
they'd
see
be
if
like, let's
Billy's
get him.
home. You go, Billy
That's
has
crazy.
a shotgun. Go grab Billy.
Militia. Yeah.
I'll say the last thing about the oubliette, because I brought up the other night, like the oubliette, you would throw, if you captured a duke or something, and you're like, I want his territory, but I can't openly execute him, or I'm going to look like a tyrant. People are going to hate me. So let's just throw him in a dungeon where he's forgotten until he dies, and then all his lands will be mine. I said before, it was if you wanted to keep him alive, you would throw him in the oubliette. The oubliette was a place for people to die. It was like a torture death. So you put them on house arrest if you wanted them to stay alive, if you needed to keep them alive to govern their lands through them. But if you really want their territory and you don't want to execute them, you would put them in the hole, and then no one would know if they were alive or dead. And then one day it's like, oops, I guess he died in prison.
It's kind of like the Man in the Iron Mask type thing.
Oops, he died in prison.
Yeah, and they'll be like, we didn't kill him. He just died in a jail cell.
Well,
with rotting corpses.
Literally in the hole.
Rats eating.
A hole with no food.
Yeah.
Except for other
They would
dead
eat each other.
bodies, like rotting bodies and stuff. Sorry to change the subject.
Yeah, they would start eating each other. They'd become like feral ghouls from Fallout. They like if you were in there dying and starving, they like the people would eat the other person who like you died. Someone would eat you.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Man, I guess we could have talked about Iran, but I really don't care to. So we'll just keep a light one, I guess.
It's so back and forth and on again, off again. Every
Several
every
dozen
week,
times.
it ended, it's starting again. It ended, it's starting again. It ended, it's starting again.
And this is, to be fair, Trump did say he's withdrawing, so this is more definitive, I guess.
pretty
But they're
good.
like, we'll sign on Friday. And I'm like, how much you want to bet in like Wednesday Iran starts bombing somebody? And he's like, the deal's off. And then I have to imagine that the people around the Trump admin are just like buying oil at 80, then selling at 100 and shorting, and then, like selling the short at 80 and then buying it at 80. And they're just, he's just cycling wealth. That's what he's doing. It's like every week, every Friday, the war's off, and Monday, the war's on.
I mean, I'm hopeful that it actually is over. I mean, it's dragged on, and it would be cool to see this kind of end. I'm thankful that it hasn't turned into some kind of ground invasion where you have troops on the ground. I'm glad that didn't develop. I really hope that this can hold. I hope Israel doesn't decide that they want to keep shooting at Lebanon to stir the pot. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's every weekend. It's the same thing. It's like, oh, the stock market was rough on Friday, so I'm going to make an announcement over the weekend, and the stock market will go up again. It's kind of the way that's the pattern, and it's like you get to the point where you're just like, well, can we believe it? I mean, obviously, it's really tough to say whether or not it's going to hold. Iran doesn't like either Israel or the United States. I don't know if they have a change in leadership that'll actually affect the thought process there. I don't think there has been, but I mean, look, if they actually have hammered it out, then that'd be great. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, amen.
I had a question about Jesus, Seamus. Oh, you're going to the bathroom. He was trying to stealth out of here. Well, I'll ask the
Ask
question to you guys.
Phil.
And then Phil, I'll ask you. So people pray to Jesus for help and like for guidance and all this, and then Jesus gives them guidance, or they get the wisdom somehow. Do you think that Jesus' spirit gets worn out And he's like,
No.
Really?
I don't think the spirits get worn out. And again, this is my understanding of Christianity as a guy that that grew up Catholic, but was kind of like a non-believer now, right? Like I'm still kind of agnostic. I'm still agnostic. I don't know that I have any kind of answers at all. So you might even want to ask Carter more than me because Carter actually goes.
So
to church.
what's the question again?
Well, like I was talking to Mark and Alexis earlier about it, and I'm like, okay, so I'm just concerned. Like I don't want to overuse the guy Jesus because I have no problem with Jesus. I've communicated with Jesus. I'm like, bro, I got your back. He's like, I got your back, man. And like, we're on a team. But asking him for help, like if I asked Phil for help constantly, eventually he'd be like, God, he's asking me for help for the 9th time this week.
I feel like it's important to like pray when you don't need something and like be like, by the way, I didn't need anything, but thank you for the stuff you've done in the past. Just so like you're not always it's him again asking for stuff.
Oh, so you recharge the spirit with gratitude.
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Which would indicate that it can get worn out, or at least your ability to contract from it can.
What are you asking for, right? If you're asking for stuff, then it's kind of like people that ask for stuff. I feel like they don't get their answers or their prayers answered. But if you're asking, give me guidance, give me peace, give me strength, those kind of things, I think you're more likely to get on a routine basis, because people that are Christian, they're often talking about like, I'm always praying. I'm constantly in communication with God. I'm constantly, kind of just, even if, someone might say that it's just muttering to yourself, right? But to a person that believes, they're like, hey, this is actually me trying to make sure that I have a relationship with God. And so, I don't think that God's like, if you're like, God, send me $1 million, God, send me $1 million every day, I don't think it's going to happen. But if you're like, hey, give me the stamina to finish my day, give me the patience to deal with my kid, I'm frustrated now, give me the peace to deal with, whatever I'm going through, give me the wisdom to address this problem. I think those kind of things are probably not going to, wear God out. Seamus, does Jesus get sick and tired of your bullshit?
Well, what do you mean? Like,
or Ian's bullshit?
Well, we're not supposed to sin, and it's wrong, and it offends God. But what is your question specifically?
If you pray to Jesus, if you were to spend a lot of time praying to Jesus for whatever, for things, help, strength, whatever, do you think that the Spirit gets tired over time?
No, God wants you to ask him for things. And people will think, oh, I'm afraid of praying because I don't want to ask God for too much. But you're showing trust in him by praying to him. So never be afraid to ask him.
And Carter was saying that like just thanking God and thanking the spirits themselves is another way to pray. Not asking for anything, but just having gratitude.
Yeah, or just conversation.
Oh, so you think actually asking invigorates the spirit? That might be true.
Well, God loves you. And if you feel a pull to pray, it's actually because he reached out to you first and gave you that feeling, gave you that grace to consider praying for him. So never feel that you can't pray or that you're going to bother God with your prayer.
You ever feel guilty? Like I'm overtaxing Jesus himself? Like,
oh my gosh, I feel the reason I feel guilty is because I don't pray enough.
How often do you pray?
I pray every day, but my prayers could be better. There's always ways that we can improve. And so, no, you're not going to offend God by praying to him too much. He wants you to ask him for things.
Well, I think if you pray hard enough, will you pray the gay away? It's a half joke. If everybody prayed, would there be no gay people?
Well, I'm not exactly trying to answer that, because if you are asking if homosexuality a defect and a disordered thing, the answer is yes. Can I guarantee that anyone who prays for the specific grace to have those desires removed is going to have those desires removed? I don't know. God, some people will struggle with certain disordered temptations, and that's a difficult thing, and they should keep trying to stay on the straight and narrow.
I feel like that's saying if you got enough people together and just prayed to make sure that nobody sins, and that's not like God's not going to do that, because God. And this is my understanding, because God allows, has given us free will, and God wants us to come to him of our own decision. So I don't think that you could pray the gay away any more than you could pray someone that is an impulsive liar, or someone that is continues to take advantage of their friends and they're stealing or what. You can't pray those things away because that's sin, and God has given us the choice to sin or to not sin.
We do have free will, but God can extend extra graces to people, and so I do think it is good to pray for people who who are sinning to help get over their sin, and also for yourself, most importantly, like help me to stop sinning.
What if it's demons making them do it?
Demons making someone,
like whispering in their ear.
You can pray for God to help that.
Like, what if everybody right now
I hear what
prayed
you're
the
saying,
demons
Phil.
away
I
from
think
Ian, and tomorrow he woke up and he put a suit on?
I prayed to heal my
I think the
fingers.
interplay
Thanks for that,
between
by the way.
free will and providence, it's just such a mind-blowing mystery that I couldn't even try to get into it or claim to understand it.
We're going to go to the Rumble Rants and Super Chats, so smash that like button, share the show with everyone you've ever met in your life. Tell them how great the show is, because word of mouth is the most important thing for how these shows live or die.
Based.
And I also want to stress that I do believe that we're heading towards the complete and total user-generated content apocalypse. I don't know if you guys saw that Keir Starmer announced they're going to ban 15 and under from using social media.
Except Blue Sky.
Is that what he said?
I'm pretty sure they're
Blue Sky wasn't on the list I saw.
Yep.
Well, it could be, honestly, because Blue Sky is just kind of non-consequential. But the issue is this. This means what he's really saying is they're going to require digital ID for anyone to use the internet. They say, we're going to stop the kids from using it. And people go, oh, that makes sense. But how? Okay, well, then people need digital IDs. And that's what they've been pushing for, which means we will come to a point where if you want to watch a show like this, you got to be logged in and signed up to YouTube.
Dude, they just
with an ID.
They blocked porn. I don't know if you guys have noticed, because I heard from someone else about it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, they blocked porn websites. Now you need ID. You basically need to sign in.
All right. Well, let's see what we got here. We got the uncensored portion of the show's coming up, 10 p.m. at rumble.com/TimcastIRL. David Flores says the investigation was supposedly to have began under Biden. That's the Newsom one. Indeed. That's what I heard.
I heard that too.
Mytho says Tim Waltz is more of a bad boy than News Scum. He has a whole commercial about it. I like that bit where Waltz on stage and he's like, I like to pull up the Tesla stock to give myself a little pick-me-up. And he's like, 220 and drop it. Duh! And now it's like 400. And it's
By the way,
everyone's rich.
Incredibly toxic feminine energy there. The idea of a man being happy that another man is failing because he doesn't like him is very creepy. That's not normal. This is the guy they were trying to market as just like any other guy. You can relate to him.
Owen X says, I wish Gavin went full Platner and said he would rape any agent that comes after him in a non-gay way. His support would go up. I don't know, did Bill Maher back Platner? I think he did.
Know.
I hope.
I think he
Did
did.
Platner actually say that? I heard a little bit about
Yeah.
that.
He said that. He said if a guy broke into his house, he'd rape him.
Whoa.
Not in a sexual way, but not a gay way.
Yes, in a sexual way, but not a gay way.
That's weird.
Wow.
Whoa, like with a broom?
I never thought about it like that.
Graham.
Maybe that's actually what that means.
I got to get him on the show.
They couldn't find a different candidate, huh? That's just the guy they picked.
He's the hardest of hardcore.
They're like, listen, he has a Nazi tattoo, but he's also got plenty of other bad qualities.
Plenty of tactics.
All right. Token Maga says, I'm so over the libs who just hate America. UFC 250 was awesome, and they're just sad people who don't know how to have fun. Seriously. It's incredible. Trump brought one of the most popular sports in the world to the White House, got 80,000 people, maybe even 100, big numbers, to all celebrate America and watch a major sporting event. It's fun. We're coming together. We're hanging out. We're being buds. Stop bitching nonstop. You're like, these libs like the friend. It's like, you're all hanging out and you're like, hey, let's go out and have a drink. I don't want to go out and have a drink. I can't. Okay, well, what do you want to do? I don't know. It's like, okay, well, let's go see a movie. The movies are bad. Okay, dude, if you don't want to hang out, just stop. We're going to go over there and watch a UFC fight with Trump and have a good time.
Let me say, though, it's not all libs, and I know you're probably generalizing. It's not. I hung out with Kyla Turner, Brian Shapiro, huge group from Take Back America yesterday. We had an awesome day. Went back and hung out at the Airbnb. We were at the Capitol. I mean, they're cool people.
Yeah, tell them the story about the night before.
No. That's all.
Oh, really? Why not,
Look,
Ian?
if I don't want to have people in my house, I'm not having people in my house. That's my decision.
I'll say it.
If you want to, yeah.
Yeah. We got invited to hang out with some of these so-called libs, and then they found out. One of them found out. I was like, no, absolutely, they cannot come.
Yeah, they found out.
You don't want those people hanging out with us.
There's definitely a polarization in this world that I'm trying to break through.
It doesn't
when
exist
people hear
on
the
whatever
name,
side we have.
Well, yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, we've not had Sam Hyde on this show.
Sam Hyde's not a liberal. What are you talking about?
He's like a crazy radical that might say the wrong words. We've been like, it's too much
the
of a
reason
risk,
Sam Hyde isn't on the show has nothing to do with that.
It's similar. It's like
no, it's not. You are incorrect,
take.
and you're butting into his private business. So I recommend you stop talking about it.
You just brought it up. You want to talk about
you
private
brought
business?
up Sam Hyde.
I know. I'm bringing up that it does happen on.
I'm bringing up that you're
aisles
saying
of
it's
all the-
not the libs, but those libs disinvited you from their party.
They never invite. No one really invited me. It wasn't like a party. It was like we're gonna go to get dinner.
Make
and then
excuses,
it became
bro.
too political.
Make
But anyway,
excuses.
I did
These
hang out with
people
them.
are all invited to AmFest, and they're all invited to the conservative shows with no problem, but not the other way around.
I
and
mean,
you know
there's
it.
no reason to shit on a gracious group of people that had me to their house yesterday. It was so cool.
The point
and
is
I made great friends and great
Point is,
contacts.
They weren't gracious when they thought Tim was coming.
Right, because there's this polarizing thing that's been happening that is ridiculous that we gotta get over, and this is part of how you do it. Is like, hey, the first day maybe I won't get invited, then maybe the next
Let me
week
just put
I
it like
will,
this.
and then after that my family can come with me, and like then we'll all be friends.
I'll just put it like this: 80% of the time, nothing's absolute. If I go to a conservative, and actually I have a fun, there are stories. If like Michael Knowles was having a party. And I went to him and I said, "Hey, there are these libs. They want to come hang out." He'd be like, "Okay, tell them to come. It'll be fun." If they're having a party, they say, "Absolutely not. We won't let those fascists in our house."
You got to define who's they. Like you said, Michael's a specific guy. If there's
Bro,
a specific dude that has disinvited you
listen.
time and time again, I get it.
Even Bill Maher talks about how libs don't want to come on his show.
We like define lib. Like what does that even mean these
The
days?
left-aligned individuals,
people
Democrat activists, they hide. Bro, we invited Dean to come on the show, and he canceled the last minute and said, "I'll reschedule," and then ran away and never came back.
There's people that are like liberally minded that are super cool, and then there's like people that are afraid.
Sure.
And they also
Like I would say, like Kyla and Brian are okay. We've never had any. They're friends. They've never had any. They've been very nice.
the whole debate.
And however, we're talking about tendencies. So I will say this: 80% of the time, if there is a liberal thing going on, they'll tell you you can't come. 80% of the time, if there's a
I
conservative
think
thing, they'll
that's-
say please invite the
I think
libs.
it's because like an environment of fear was created around censorship over the last 8 years. So a lot of people in that space that were like part of the Democratic Party are like don't want to say the wrong thing or be the wrong person. So
It's a cult.
It has. I mean, the media has culted up a lot
it's
of
a
us.
cult.
So, but
The reason why lefties don't want to come on the show is because they can't handle speaking outside the confines of the liberal orthodoxy.
there are people like that. Yeah, but I'm not.
So
you gotta understand.
like for instance, Dean and Parker famously just interview faceless individuals who I would not be surprised to find out are like actors. They're prop debates. You watch the guy's YouTube. He does these debates, and you watch him, and it's just a camera on his face, and he's debating someone you can't see or hear. I'm sorry, you can't see, but you can hear. And so, like, this is not a real debate. He's not ever going to sit in a room with someone who's actually going to put the pressure on.
We actually debated what is even a real debate, because I mean a real debate's like
They don't
Tim
debate.
Pool, and then like we don't do real debates. We just have conversations about ideas.
Exactly. And that's why I don't do these debates, because they're not actual debates.
They're not.
So, for instance, like I think even Andrew Wilson was saying this. It's not a debate. It's blood sports.
Well, that's one version of it.
Which means when you watch those debate shows, the intention is not to rationalize or understand reality. It's to make the other person look stupid. That's blood sports.
Oh, it's gross. I mean, it gets clicks and money. I get it, but I don't.
So a good example is when the Jubilee had this thing with a conservative guy and Parker Dean and two conservative guys. And the issue was that Donald Trump falling asleep raises serious questions about his health. And the one conservative guy asked Dean's like, Trump's falling asleep. He's got a thing on his neck. He's got like a thing on his hand, like something's wrong with him. The conservative guy goes, well, when Joe Biden was president, all of a sudden he interrupts him and says, bro, oh my God, how did you bring up Biden? Like it literally says Trump. Can we all agree we are not going to say Joe Biden anymore? And the conservative guy's like, okay. And I'm like, you see, that's not a real debate. That's not actually getting to the core of the ideas. The reason you bring up Joe Biden is you would say, Dean, in the previous administration, when the president was very obviously ill to the point where his wife recently said she thought he had a stroke, you said it was fine. What changed in your opinion? Because honestly, it looks political. But these aren't real debates. So Dean uses a rhetorical trick to make the other guy look stupid and mock him. And then the guy gives up and backs off of his point.
I used to do ad hominems. I mean, rip somebody's
Well, it's not
talk about how they
technique
don't
is not an
know
ad
their
hominem.
dad, and it's like then they're all nervous, and you're like, see, you don't even know what you're fucking talking about, and then you rip them
Those aren't
apart
debates.
with your idea. Well, that's what I use. That's blood sport. That's what I used to do to people.
That's
And I don't
online
do
blood
that anymore.
sports. That's where like you'll see these debates where you'll have two people, and then one guy will ask a question, the other guy instead of answering will bust out laughing, and then call the other person a moron for even asking. It's like that's not debates.
Fortunately, there's a huge surging group of people across all political spectrums that I've met that want to have like legitimate conversations and further the American spirit. It's really awesome. And I got to spend a lot of time with him yesterday.
Let's grab some more. We got Hans. He says Trump using HARP weather modification to allow UFC fight. Could make a good episode for our spoon thief. That's actually a really good idea.
I actually don't know who he's referring to, though.
That's a good point. Anyway, that's actually a really good short you should do, where it's like the Democrats are calling Trump corrupt for he's got his corrupt use of power, and then like the right is just like, that's ridiculous. That's just not true. And then the storm comes and Trump is like,
He like moves it. He has Ian move it.
a laser goes, slices the cloud in half.
He's using DARPA.
He has Ian move it.
That's their technology.
They might have did that. I don't know. Weather mods. I don't know.
The Democrats are complaining about Trump's corrupt use of power, not because of the White House lawn and the UFC event, but because he used HARP technology to control the weather.
Okay.
For the event.
Keep your eyes on the news the next week and see if somebody writes about it.
Forced Name Change says, I love how Carter switches the camera to Phil every time Ian goes into one of his DMT flashbacks.
I got to say, Carter is the
He's got
master.
the best facial expressions, and I always know when it's coming.
Bro, Carter's really good with like getting reaction shots. I feel like it adds such a dynamic to the show.
He is great with that.
Tomahawk says, for Timcast tradition, please welcome Robin Candace Dahl to the world. Our second girl patriot.
Oh, yeah.
Proudest girl dad. Thank you for encouraging people to start families it's worth living for.
It's been a minute since we had one of
you.
those.
Yeah. Good for you.
Congratulations.
Undeniable, man. Oh my God. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. I would fight a grizzly bear with my bare hands for my daughter. I would stare. I would charge that thing full speed and go in anywhere.
cool.
And you know what? I understand. The bear gets it. Because when the bear has babies, that bear is like, I will massacre you.
He's not going to be nice to you. He'll get like.
Well, the dude bears don't care. It's the lady bears.
Yeah.
The dude bears will actually kill other lady bears' babies and then rape her.
Yeah.
That's how bears do it. You know that?
Freaking.
I did not know that.
Yeah, like the dude bear will try and kill her kids and then rape her so that she has to raise his kids.
Oh my God.
And women will choose the bear.
Bro, it is wild. This is the thing about like,
Just a lack of humility in the face of nature.
bro, I think people need to understand why so many people want to repeal the 19th. Because these women literally vote to let bears in. Like, it's like, it's like, we're going to vote on whether or not we should allow bears back in the cities. And the women are like, I prefer the bear. And you're like, oh my God. So eventually guys are going to leave and women are going to melt to death by bears. It's ridiculous.
Hashtag
prefer
not all
the bear.
bears. Polar bears are pretty brutal, I hear.
Polar bear.
But so, I've argued this, and I've heard women say, like, most bears run away and get scared. So if you encounter
Most
a bear,
men run away and get scared.
No. But here's the thing. They're like, if you encounter a bear, the likelihood is like you make some noise, even a grizzly, and they'll stay away from you. Black bears are shy, and so if you encounter a bear, it's like very unlikely they'll attack you. And I'm like, you encounter men every single day to the tune of dozens to hundreds, and not a single one of them attacks you. I understand that crime exists. I understand that sometimes people are victimized. But you, the average woman, walk through New York surrounded by tens of thousands of men, and not one of them is attacking you. Now, to be fair,
Also-
they keep voting for it, and so it is getting worse.
And to strengthen your point, all of the things they tell you to do to scare a bear away would also probably scare a person away if you started doing those. If you're like, "Rah!" trying to make yourself look big and like bang cymbals together,
Or dropping into the
regular
fetal position and
person
covering your neck.
is probably going to run away. They're probably going to be like,
To your point
I'm gonna
earlier,
get away from this
Seamus.
person.
To your point earlier, polar bears actually look at humans as prey.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's not like grizzly bears will mess you up, but they don't really look at humans.
They'll stay away from you if you're being noisy.
Yeah, they don't look at humans as prey. If you're out in the Arctic and a polar bear sees you, he's gonna be like, I am going to eat you. Like you are.
Yeah,
if
it's
you
you
see a
down.
polar bear and you lock eyes, the other two coming from the side. And you're alive
what
when
is
they
he
girl.
saying? If it's brown, lie down. If it's black, fight back. If it's white, good night.
Yep.
Really, with bears?
Yeah, like
ever in a place where
with
you
a
might
grizzly,
encounter-
you're supposed to and guys, fact check me on this one. This is not advice, but I think that you're supposed to lie down, cover your neck, and just go limp. It'll mess you up, but then give up and walk away. Black bears, if they choose to fight you, are going to kill you. You got to fight back and then bop it on the nose, and maybe it'll leave. Polar bears will just eat you.
Yeah.
You're dead.
That's terrifying.
You are a meal.
You are meals.
Self-defense
Meals on
situation.
wheels. Mythos says humans are the only species on the planet that choose their mating season, and every other animal on this planet is seasonal. Is that true?
I think there are animals that don't have a mating season. Am I wrong about this?
I don't know. The guy said it on the internet. So
I know, it's probably true then.
But let's double check that.
Let's see. Gadget Ratchet says the Book of Acts depicts the Seamus communism, but he is wrong being Catholic. Love him all the same.
It's very kind of you. Well, here's the thing. Firstly, don't cede that territory to communists. Communism is a very recent modern philosophy that tries to subvert Christianity and steal certain moral capital from Christianity by pretending to care about the poor when it actually does not. It's about the abolition of the family and religion and private property. People living in community and voluntarily sharing is not the same as communism. And actually, Acts is depicting religious life, which Catholics have.
Oh, yeah. All right. Shane Wilder says, hide your forks, hide your knife, because Seamus is stealing everything up in here. Serious brother, I gave you money for your show, and you didn't buy cutlery.
God bless you. Thank you so much for donating to help the show get made. People are absolutely loving it and eating it up, so please go to Freedom Tunes, check that out. And as far as the cutlery theft accusations, you know me, you know I would never do that.
Are they eating it up with their bare hands then, or what?
Well, I don't know what utensils they're bringing. I just know they're enjoying it.
I like that Family Guy joke where they're like, you know, this is completely clear, exactly as the Founding Fathers intended. And it shows the Founding Fathers, and they're like, how could this be any more, or how could this possibly be unclear? Everyone gets to keep a pair of bear arms. And he points up and there's just bear arms. Bear arms. All right, what do we have here? Elliot says, shut up, Ian.
Thanks, El.
But isn't Elliot an anagram for to lie?
Oh, interesting. You know, the wisdom of the crowd, whenever I get those comments of shut up, it usually means listen more. Because, like, I tried the whole shut up thing. It just made me miserable and depressed, and I wanted to kill myself. So, like, don't just shut up. Listen more. It's active.
Tricky Hickey says, Joan Rivers died shortly after she made that comment.
Yeah, it was real weird. Like, her spirit gave up. She was just
that's
done
what
with
happened.
people's
She gave up. That's such a great way of putting it. That's such a great way of putting it.
A lot of people who were friends with the Clintons, just their spirits gave up.
Their
spirits
frail
gave
body
up.
couldn't take it anymore, and their spirit took leave.
What I thought happened was that Joan was like, they don't get my comedy anymore. These people are beyond repair. I'm done with this world, is kind of the vibe I got from her.
My Melul says, clipped Ian saying Michael is beautiful. Hope it ages well.
Michael Knowles?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's pretty cute.
OJP says, how is anyone not remembering the time Obama's Twitter was found to have followed a very not safe for work gay Twitter account?
Is that true?
Oh, man.
I don't think I ever followed him.
Man,
Listen,
all right.
I'm not one to defend him. I brought up a certain quote earlier, but that could also always be a staffer.
Right,
The likelihood that he's running his Twitter account.
Indeed. My friends, we're going to go to the uncensored portion of the show. Smash the like button, share the show with everyone you've ever met in your life. Tell your grandma, tell your friends, hide your kids, hide your wife, because everyone's watching Timcast IRL up in here. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. What up, Seamus?
Hey, everybody. So we realize that you cannot win the culture war if you're not making culture. So we have been working on a full-length animated show. It's high quality. It's funny. There's depth to it. People are really enjoying it. The reception has been overwhelmingly positive. It's called Twisted Plots. It's an animated anthology series, kind of like Twilight Zone or Black Mirror, but it's comedy, and it comes at things from a legit perspective instead of the silly nihilism that you get from entertainment that's made now. So go over to our YouTube channel, Freedom Tunes, and watch the episode of Twisted Plots that has been uploaded. It's 26 minutes long. I think you guys are going to absolutely love it. God bless you, and thank you so much for watching.
I'm white pill for the future more than ever. I think that either I'm back in time to tell you we did it, but like something feels real good about the American way of life. Hopefully, I think we're going to translate the Constitution's Bill of Rights to the digital space. Maybe we all get like a right to a personal AGI. We have a right to source code, things like that. But it really feels like people are coming together in a new way.
People don't know this, but Ian's middle name is Eobard.
You know, my middle name is actually Art.
Eobard.
It's Eobard.
It's Art.
It's Eobard.
Eobard?
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'm high levels in Bard. Phil Labonte.
There are people in the chat who know what that means, but Ian.
Speaking of bards, when I started
I don't know what it means.
my stream of Baldur's Gate 3, they were like, name him Sir Philip. So I did.
So anyway,
he was a bard.
I am Phil That Remains on Twix. The band is All That Remains. You can check out our music at Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, YouTube, Spotify, and Deezer. The next time that we're going to be playing a show is going to be in November. We're playing the Warped Tour in Orlando. So you can go to warptour.com to get tickets there. Don't forget the Left Lane is for Crime.
Sick. Man, yeah, I'm excited to see what you've got in store for us, Seamus. Where do you find that again?
On Freedom Tunes YouTube. So if you go to the YouTube channel for Freedom Tunes, that's just youtube.com/Freedom Tunes, you will see it is our most recent upload. It's titled He Almost Got Away With It, Twisted Plots Pilot.
Nice.
Check that out.
Awesome. I'm Carter Banks. You can follow me everywhere at Carter Banks and everywhere else at Carter Banks Official. Follow the label at Trash House Records on YouTube. Got a single coming out for my band Traveler on Juneteenth, no less. You can buy it now on iTunes at aliveordeadsong.com and help get it in there to the charts. But yeah, Tim.
We'll see you all over at rumble.com/TimcastIRL right now. Thanks for hanging out.